Hello and welcome. If you know my face from any of the other stuff I have done with the Black Barrel Tavern, I'm in a new location because I don't have spell slots. Uh, this is session 0 for Tales from the Ten Lands. And we have our intrepid adventurers, hopefully, just surrounding me. I have not actually looked at how we have everything set up, but we're places. We're places.
You're dead center, Guild, so you're good.
Okay. So we have people there, over here. We got some people down here, so we're good.
We've got like a Brady Bunch thing going on.
And I apologize, my kitten's trying to play with all my dice, so I'm trying to put them away.
I am the guild, properly known currently as Koji, pronouns, they, them. I will be the narrator, game master, and voice of God for our lovely story here. We're going to go, we're going to start with Ursus and continue around from there because I have no idea where the rotationing is.
You just named the person you want to go next, and that's how we'll do it. So, hi everybody, I'm Ursus. You may know me as Adam, you may know me as Bear, you may know me as the Blind GM, you may know me as the Blind Heathen, in all of the various socials across the various interwebs. But we are on my stream. We are seeing where this goes. This is the first time I've really kind of produced a stream for people that aren't my kind of inner circle of friends. So I'm kind of excited about this to branch out. We have people literally from all over the United States tuning into this particular thing. A lot of us originated from the Midwest, but people then kind of branched out and moved out into the world. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so that's me.
We're now go with Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. He, him. This is actually my first stream I've ever participated in ever, so this will be new for me. I've been playing D&D for a few years now. Almost got caught in the Forever DM, so it's nice to be on the other side of the screen.
All right, let's go next to Sylvane.
Hello. My name is Sylvane Spectre. My pronouns are they, them. I sort of do local shows for the most part. I'm around the Denver metro area at Denver's Dangerous Theater. My typical thing is I do an open mic night in my day work, but I'm actually writing a series of fantasy novels. I'll just say that as like kind of my background because that'll help you understand why I always have way too many ideas. And so if I seem hesitant ever, it's just because I'm always imagining the myriad directions we could kind of go. And so I often do that. I will be happy to join Guild's adventure because Guild is someone that I've worked with locally. I'm originally from Texas. I escaped there in like 2015. Some of you will know me from Texas. Some of you, almost all of you, will not. But you know, I'm really fucking happy to be here. I play wizards. I play sneakies. This time I'm considering quite a few things, but hopefully with a group of intrepid adventurers, as Guild pointed out, we will have a great time. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Guild, and thank you, Ursus, Bear, Adam,
Oh yeah.
person.
All right, next we're gonna go to Bree.
Hi, I'm Bree, and this is also my first stream, just like Matt. And I'm so stinking excited to be here. I'm on TikTok. I'm that D&D chick on there. Please follow me. And I jumped the gun so quick, and I already put my character name in that first slot because I'm forgetful, and I will probably forget to put that later. So surprise. But no, I'm really excited to be here. I'm all about women being brutal on TTRPGs. We're not always the healers. We're not always the ones that are, I don't know what to do. So I typically play barbarians and rogues. And this time I'm considering a fighter because women are brutal at the end of the day and they're powerful. So that's my shtick. Like I said, I'm so excited to be with the guild today, and I'm so excited that you guys scooped me up, and I look forward to fighting with everyone.
All right, and next we'll go with Kitty, who has a botchy name on Zoom currently.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it up. I don't know Zoom.
It's all right. We can always figure it out later.
We'll fix it in
My
post.
name's Katy. Huh?
I'm kidding. Go
We'll
ahead.
fix it in post.
Name's Katy. I've only started doing TikTok streams and things less than 2 weeks ago, so I'm still figuring out the whole interweb saying hi to people type thing. I drive semis for a living, so I travel all across the U.S., but I usually stay out in the mountain regions. Normally, I play Band-Aids, but I'm trying to change it up a little bit this time. I've done cleric for almost every game I've done, and I'm actually deal some damage this time instead of raising people's butts when they don't get out of the damn fire. So I'm hoping this will be a lot of fun, and let's just blow some shit up.
Cool. Kitty, what are your pronouns?
She, her, sorry.
No, it's
I'm
all good.
currently in the middle of transitioning.
It is all good. I just wanted to make sure that we had that correct.
You're good. I'm still, like I said, I'm still figuring stuff out.
Yeah, the they part of my he, they is still pretty new to me. So
I love that.
Got it.
All right, and
Oh, someone else takes it for me. Okay.
last but certainly not least, Katy.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am also brand new to streaming. This will be my first time attempting this, and I'm so excited. Um, Still deciding what I want to play. Kind of thinking more druid or sorcerer. Something to have fun with. And yeah, that's me. I'm excited to be. I generally wear lots of pinks, very girly things, and I like to blow stuff up while being very girly.
that makes me so happy.
Hell yeah!
This is
I'm
why I
excited.
like pulling people from around the areas.
Yes.
So I'm so excited to be playing with all of you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
All right, so for those watching, we are doing our session 0. So once we start getting into rolling for characters, I'm also going to be giving some background both into our area, a little bit of mild overarching bits that are necessary, answering questions from players about setting up people in the world, and most importantly, giving out some rule snippets here and there, such as common isn't really a thing in my setting. We are in Vanderfall, and this crazy world has been vastly divided by massive oceans between the different continents. And the fastest way between one ocean to the other is to go up, over, and through the Azir, the sea of stars, the astral sea. We are starting our area in, again, Hordun, named after one of the gods of creation, Hordun Su Vikir. We are starting properly in the town of Mandan when we actually get fully going. Mandan is one of the small cities of renown, just off of the Great Lake. It is massively deep. Up the Barren Strait from the ocean, you can actually get a 3-mast ship up that large river into this lake. And Mandan is one of its few ports that it hits. For everyone that has a base character initially in Hordun, which is going to be almost all of you, I've heard some people's ideas. All of you will have, instead of common, you will have Hordun Su. I will be tossing that into our little chat area. How to spell that? Adam, we're going to start off with rolling your stats real quick, mainly because I want to hear if you're keeping the character idea pitch that you had tossed to me before.
Well, what do you want me rolling?
We are going to first do stats, which is going to be, we're going to roll 2 different stat basings. You get to roll 2 different charts and pick which chart you like more. So it's basically rolling 2 stat blocks, and whichever one you like more will be what you do. It is 46, drop the lowest.
Okay.
And you can't mix up the stat blocks, but I'm giving you an option of 2 because sometimes you roll absolute crap.
So
Uh,
we're going method 1 with 2 separate stat blocks, is what I'm hearing.
yes.
Okay. You're a cool mistress, by the by.
I had a plan initially of throwing some monkey wrenches into character buildings, but I decided against it because I decided against it.
That's fair.
You're the
Power builder in me
you're
thanks you.
God. I mean, that's your call, right?
Yes, I am the game operations director.
13,
My favorite joke.
13, nice.
Kami-sama.
10.
10, nice.
What is that? 11.
11.
Oh shit. 17.
17, nice.
It's 4.
You said that was a 4?
No. I was counting how many I had done. 14.
And one more.
Jesus. 16.
Holy shit.
I think that was
That's
All right.
10,
good
11,
array.
7, 17, 14.
How strong are your shoulders feeling? Are you feeling like you can carry us all on your back? Like,
missed the
is that how
13,
strong you're
thanks.
feeling?
Kinda is what, like, here's the thing. When I roll stats, like, this is why I was reticent to do this. When I roll stats, I usually roll really, really shitty. This is the first time I've not rolled really poorly.
I
Let
would
us not
love
forget
that
that
stat block.
I
I
control
can make
your
use of that.
fate.
Can I do something to you to like make you give me that?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, this shirt?
2 or 4, because there's a very different connotation there. All right, I'm gonna roll the second
Who
one.
says what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna roll the second array. That is 13 again.
If you roll the same set twice, you're gonna basically roll the same. You're rolling our set.
That's a crit.
15.
Good. That's real good.
Give me something bad so they don't think I'm cheating. 11.
Can I have that? This one? Can I have this one?
Unfortunately, we can't share all of these numbers because he didn't roll the same set twice.
13.
Another 13. All right.
Oh.
I
This is
haven't
a
not
good
rolled a
array.
6 on any of these.
A 6.
Thank
No, this was
goodness. Thank
13.
goodness.
Another
You've got to
13.
be bad at
Yep.
something.
One more. 14. Jesus.
Ugh.
So do you go with the average or the one that has like that variables?
Well, with the
I-
right,
I like the first one in its sort of diversity.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like
So
it
why?
gives
Like the
That
me
fact
makes
that you
sense.
can.
It
There
gives you
is like a proper
Right.
high goal. You're not just like
Mhm.
average.
right.
and with the right ancestry, you can make those higher numbers and some of your odd numbers sing. Like if you pick one of the Mordenkainens and just do a +1, +1, +1,
Yeah.
you make that an 18, a 12, and a 14.
Well, and I'm fully not gonna like. I'm not optimizing this character. Like I have an
Oh,
idea
yeah.
that
Yeah,
I want to roll
no.
into.
Sorry.
I mean,
No, it's all.
Yeah,
Here's the
it's
thing.
fine.
Like normally,
Matt is clearly like the gamist, like, I'm gonna make this the best it can be.
normally
Honestly,
when I
having
build
a
a
Hercules
character, I
party
am
isn't
looking at
bad.
optimization. I am looking at those things. Because I am frequently a forever, like I'm not a forever DM. I'm sort of a retired forever DM. I'm leaning into the character that I find the most interesting, not the most optimized. I am going to go with the first array.
Sure, sure.
You're going with the first set. All right.
Yep.
Very
And Guild, I
cool,
think
very
with
cool.
that first set, I'm going to stick with my original concept.
All right. So, what is your original concept that you're
So-
wanting to do?
I had pitched an idea for a long-lived race, an elven race, or an elven style race. In this particular case, I am going with Eladrin, which in the guild's world are immortal. They live forever. I
I
like
mean, they
the
can be killed, but that's
right.
beside.
Like they don't age, is what I mean.
Yes.
The concept that I had, and this is one that I actually did on TikTok years ago, or a couple years ago at this point, but the concept that I had was, I'm 42, and I can't do basic algebra
Really?
anymore because I haven't taken a math class since I was 16 years old. I cannot do
Mhm.
basic algebra. So the concept is that if you live long enough, and when you participate in adventuring for long enough, you progress very, very quickly is compared to an elf um, in a very short amount of time. So you get from level 1 to whatever, level 8, level 9, level 10, and maybe a few short months, depending on what's going on, what world shaking event is going on. And then everybody else sort of like retires and moves on with their lives. And you're like, well, fuck, I guess I'm done. So you go off to wherever the elves or Eladrin live, and you spend the next 100 years not doing anything. And all of those skills you immediately forget until another adventuring party comes along and you're like, sounds like fun. So you go off and learn a whole other array of skills. You don't remember any of the skills. So people can come up to you and say, aren't you that ancient hero that slaughtered the Balor of Green Hill? And you're like, yeah, I was. Weren't you a fighter? Yeah, but now I like spells. What are you going to do about it?
I'm here for that.
So this Eladrin has lived for a very long time, has gone through a number of a plot number of iterations. It's memories of everything that happened, but none of the skills from everything that happened.
You have signets from multiple different guilds, and
Right.
most of them have been rusted over slightly.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, yeah, this is my first
guilds
one,
that
and
no
they're like,
longer
I don't
exist
even recognize that as a thing anymore. Yeah, they died out about 500 years ago. It's fine.
The merchants have changed their logo since that one.
Right. Exactly. So I have sort of a trajectory in mind. It is going to be somewhat fluid in as much as I'm going to kind of roll with what happens with the party and the story and all that stuff. But I am starting out as a level 1 Hexblade world.
Very nice.
Oh, that's
Have you
so
picked
cool.
a patron? Like where your blade comes from?
I mean, so in your world, as we discussed over text, the Eladrin come from the Sea of Stars, the Astral Sea.
The one that you chose specifically.
The stars, I thought. Did I choose something else and I'm not remembering?
Didn't you choose? Yeah, you chose a Star Eladrin, didn't you?
Yeah, chose a Star Eladrin.
Yeah. Not all Eladrin come from the Astral Sea.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I chose one specifically from the Astral Sea, so that's more or less where their power comes from. So they're going to go by Izzy. They are going to be they, them pronouns. I have Hero Lab, Hero Forge artwork all ready to go. I'm super stoked. So while y'all roll your stuff, I'm going to be plugging numbers into my D&D Beyond.
As a note for your D&D Beyond stuff,
Yeah.
you need to add another language to your
If you want to send that to me, I will add it.
I just popped that into the chat area. It is pronounced Esri. As far as how it sounds, think of Mongolian throat singing. That
oh goodness.
I can do that for short periods of time.
And that is how their language sounds. It echoes beautifully among the City of Memories and the City of Dreams. You remember it when it was the Lost City, before the ships had to be separated.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. That was sometime between the Rose Barony and what's his name coming to Hordon? Balth Azul, one of the gods.
I mean,
I'm throwing you back to you. You are old enough to. You are one of the true original Eladrin. Elves can ascend.
Time is such a amorphous concept that this whole linear thing is really just for the birds. Who can remember details? I just was around.
Are you saying it's more of a big
it's
ball
wibbly
of
wobbly,
wibbly
timey
wobbly,
wimey
timey wimey stuff.
stuff.
That
Yes.
might be copyrighted. We might get struck for that shit.
Ah!
We'll cut it in post.
The BBC isn't litigious at all.
All right, so
Which is the joke because the BBC is incredibly litigious, and please don't sue us. We like you.
so for your starting gear stuff, it is legitimately just out of book.
Yep.
What background are you going with?
I went with at least what I built here. Let me pull it up here just so I can recite it for you. Oh, I did a custom background. Yes, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
I did a custom
What are you calling
background that I'm calling it Star Child. They have a long history. They have like they have literally get history as part of this proficiency in history because they lived through it. And like anytime that I fail a history check, it's not that I wasn't, around. It means either A, I wasn't there, or B, I probably wasn't paying attention. Which, because who knows? I mean, right this second, can everybody cite everything that's happening in the world right now? Didn't think so. So, so it's two skills, two additional languages. I took the Wanderer trait from the Outlander, I believe it was. Basically gives me an excellent memory for geography and landmarks, and I get advantage to roll to like find my way. I did take the suggested characteristics from Far Traveler, but I usually don't use those because I already have a pretty solid idea of what my character is and is about. So,
Yeah. Who
is there
would
any other
like to go
questions
next?
that I can field for you before I start plugging in numbers?
So I need to make a confession real fast. So in my research that you shared with me, I totally missed the fact that there's a lot of star and astral theming. This was an accident because I'm a space fan. I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid. So let's just say I am living right now.
I
The star
fully
and
thought
astral
that you did that on purpose.
No. So the star and astral theme is specifically if you guys end up going into that sea. Most of the campaign that is currently prepped, like the by prepped, I mean like the devs have only truly worked on this particular game map. The DLC of the other areas might be later. But the major map that is mostly put together, not physically written out. I haven't had the spoons for that. And I also lost my initial physical map. I wish I was kidding. I was actually drawing out the map by hand. And I lost it in the move.
That sucks.
And it was the move before where I was at. Anyways,
Oh.
so yeah, I lost it 2 moves ago. Sucks. Anyways, Hordun is the place that we have the most of, so it will be spent mostly in Hordun. I have gifted Adam a common magic item, which you can rebrand as glasses. It's basically very special sunglasses that makes it that way you can be in daylight, seeing as the I don't have a Underdark for a lot of personal reasons. Among them being the fact that I have horrific arachnophobia.
Mood.
So Underdark, bad, along with all the racism that our original progenitor of the hobby put into that place. So Drow, Dwagar, Svirfneblin, they all come from the Astral Sea. And the reason that they have the extreme dark vision that they have is there is no sun. There are stars above and there are stars in the water. And you can navigate off that. But it's basically like having like the mushrooms. You can kind of see-ish, but like, eh. Also because you have that superior dark vision, something that I have mentioned in my pitch document. There is a difference between dark vision and true dark vision. I missed that a little bit from like low light dark vision in 3.5. True dark vision means you can see color kind of in the darkness. Like that is that wall is green. I can't really tell you what shade it is, but I know that wall is green. That wall is a brownish color. Those are bluish. You can get the gist of color in true darkness. So
Cool.
you have true dark vision.
Oh, I have true dark vision. Okay.
You have true dark vision because you're originally from the astral sea, which
Gotcha.
you weren't used to light and seeing colors normally, which means clothing from your homeland is like bright, vivid colors. What you wear nowadays, you've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Tastes change, but you're used to that like flamboyantness around you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. So, rolling back to the question I had before, who wants to go next? I will
I
nominate
go
someone if someone doesn't want to.
last, because most of my build is going to be based on what everyone else picks as I narrow down all my choices.
You don't
I'm
have to.
still deciding between two characters. I mean,
I can go next then.
All right.
So I'm a little intimidated to go after good old Adam because I don't have that in depth of a backstory yet. But
We'll get it.
yeah, I have
Bree,
chosen.
I am a professional writer, so please do not be intimidated. This is I do this for a living. This is not
Sure.
should not be indicative of any like there should be no expectation of anybody else to do this. This is just how my brain works.
Oh, sure.
Feel
But I
that.
can give you like what she looks like, her name, and a little bit of a backstory if you guys are interested in that. Because I'm big on describing what characters look like because that helps me go from there. If you guys are open to that.
Let's first get your
Please.
stats out of the way.
Okay, that's fine.
Get your
I'm
stats out of the way, then we'll meet your character.
listen, I'm putting off the stats because I'm really bad at rolling. So 4d6 and then
46, high
Drop the
3.
lowest.
okay. I'm also really bad at math, so if it takes me a minute, please forgive me, guys.
Quite all right. If you want to say out loud the numbers that you all rolled, and I can also help with that.
Okay, perfect. 15 for the first one. A 16 for the second one. $12 for the third one. Another 16.
You are doing 46, drop the lowest one, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I'm bad at rolling. I'm better rolling. 2 goddamn 16s and a 15. Yeah, sure. Better at rolling.
Okay, I claim next just because I don't want all this luck to run out the time it gets to me.
You're my
Whatever's
dice,
happening.
right? Like I'm sitting here like trying to add. I'm not fucking with anyone. How many more times do I have to roll? I wasn't keeping track of that.
2 more.
Watch, it's gonna be all ones now.
4 threes.
14.
Last one.
All fives. So dropping one of the fives.
Makes it a
15.
15.
Yep.
Set 1 is
Mother of God.
what the shit? Go rounding, counting it down. 16, 16, 15, 15, 14, motherfucking 12.
Your dump stat would still be a +1.
Do you want to roll the second set for something
No.
a little bit spicy?
I mean, not really, because like I don't know where that rolling came from. I'm not joking. This weekend I played a bunch of one shots and I was just like, my dice are broken. And then all of a sudden I got 2 nat 20s in a row. So maybe it's just coming from that. I pulled an Emily. Like when she rolled 2 nat 20s in a row.
So are we wanting to just not take a second set?
No.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, I just rolled it again and it was all threes. So no, we're not. I let the dice gods decide. We're gonna stick with that first set.
So what are you thinking of running?
I'm gonna be running, hopefully, Sylvia, but everyone calls her Silver. Her pronouns are she, they. And she is a battle master fighter dwarf. More specifically, she is going to be coming from the Riverite tribe because like you said in the in our chat, their kinship with the Blood Screamer tribe. And I just like that spoke to my soul. I think the guild and I had so many conversations about the names of things, and I was like, yeah, Silver and the Riverite tribe. It just has a nice little ring to it, I think.
So you accidentally stumbled into why those two are combined.
Did I?
So the back when Navarro Lau first started growing his empire-ish, like he started in a tavern as just a musician, and he made enough money to where he literally bought the tavern from the owner just to be the one who like did the management, because you notice that the actual owner was having a hard time with that. It's also like getting close to closing the doors so many moons over. Like it happened consistently and consistently. So it's like, you know, I'm bringing enough money. If I buy it, you just continue running it. I'll just work the money and the paperwork and all of that. And then he ended up buying the brewery that supplied their alcohol, and then eventually the farms, so on and so on and so on. Over time, he basically bought the town, then the surrounding areas, and it just kept going till eventually he basically owned all of Verdun. One of the things that he did was he saw two tribes, and in my setting, the difference between a tribe and a clan, when it comes to like big houses, big names, I keep hitting my microphone. The difference between a tribe and a clan is a clan usually makes a settlement and will brick and mortar their home. A tribe are nomads. They will continue traveling. They kind of converted into a clan for a while when King Lao suggested that these two that work really well on their own come together for mithril mining and crafting. The Riverite claim to name is their mithril works. So you have a small trinket, a bracelet, a hairpiece, a brooch, something that you own. It's very small, that has the RW, and that would be like a signet of your house, made of mithril, just on your person. It's not big, it's not fancy, but it is your claim to your house. And most Riverites wear this as a sign of pride. You also have a set of some kind of eyewear that works in your minds. Only people of the Riverite or Blood Screamers can read the enchanted engravings in the walls. It's a slight glow to them. Everyone else, nothing. You've seen this happen before. You've seen this in other dwarven mines. They do this so they can be safe. We know where we keep our food, where we keep our weapons, where we keep our children. You don't. It's safety. So you have a pair of glasses. Sometimes you head back home if you want. It's all in your story. But whenever you do head back into one of the underground settlements, you can always find your way.
I love that. Also, just for flavor, and this might be stupid, and I don't want to take away from like your really seriousness there, but can she have a monocle?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I think it'll fit her aesthetic to have a little monocle.
Yeah, there's plenty that literally just have it as a monocle. Like, I don't need a lot of stuff. So when I'm home, just one lens,
Yeah.
I can read everything through one eye and then just both eyes open and
Yeah.
just see the rest of the area. Monocle's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think because she wears stirrups, to keep her little trousers on. I think she would have her little pendant as like the little adjuster on her stirrups. It would
Mhm.
be that. It would be that. Just to make it pop a little bit because her suspenders are all black. She wears a black button up because again, she wears very sensible things for the mining, right? So I think she would also, again, this is all for flavor, so obviously I'll add armor and everything, but she has a kind of a darker button up to cover up like the coal dust and like the dirt. It's unbuttoned a little bit, not too much to be a little sultry, but just to be relaxed and comfy. Um, and then they're tucked into her trousers and her pants are rolled up, and she typically goes barefoot because she likes feeling the earth under her feet. She likes feeling a little bit more connected and grounded because the reality is little Silver has no idea what she's doing with life. And she has no idea what is going on, but she acts like she does. She's very much like Alexis Rose from Schitt's Creek. If anyone's familiar, please don't copyright me. But very much like that. But she's unequivocally herself all the time. She's very close with her sister. I have not named her yet, but that's a little bit of her backstory. And I just think it would be great. I really love her. I'm starting to fall in love with her. So I think that's what we're going to be sticking with. So, yeah, go ahead.
Two things to add. One, in your backstory range, you need to add one person who has been older than you or been seen as an elder to you that is a blood screamer. There is always that crossover. Members of both tribes pass between each other. At some point, it is expected. At some point, you will have either a child or grandchild that will look up to you. That is an orc. That will just literally either call you mom, grandma. That will want to just be like you because I want to learn how to fight. Like you fight the way I want you to fight. So like, and you have that for someone older than you as an orc. You also have your dwarven family range. You also get as a free language orc or orcish.
Okay.
Because of course you do. Like you know dwarvish,
Yeah.
you know orcish because you grew up around both of them thoroughly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get orcish for free.
That's awesome. So excited. I think just to add, just knowing her, oh, she does have a scarf. I forgot to add that. She does have a scarf to kind of put over her nose, just to be clear of like if she's in the mines or underground, it gets a little hard to breathe. So she likes to, or if she wants to be a little sneaky and spicy. But I think she would definitely have like an orc grandpa. Just because I think that would be hilarious. Just I don't know. I just picture this old orc with a little cane, and he's just like, "Can you get your shit together, please?" Like I think that would be great.
Get your shit together, Silver, or I
Yeah,
swear I will make you run from my club once again.
yep. And she's
I
just
caught
smoking
you
from
at
her pipe.
15 paces last time. Make it 20, or I'll make you do push-ups.
She just sits there smoking on her pipe, like, yeah, whatever, old man. Like,
Are you channeling my grandfather?
Who, me?
Yes.
say grandfather
no.
drill sergeant.
Both.
My grandfather served in World War II and killed actual Nazis. So yeah, kind of a rough around the edges guy. Sweet man, never laid a hand on me, but was kind of an asshole when he needed to be.
I mean, you do that for part of your life. You kind of. So I'm also going to throw in a little bit of added history, if you are welcome for it, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, your grandfather has passed. Your other grandfather is still alive and kicking.
Thank God.
You do know that your grandfather, the orc one that trained you up a lot, was a war chief.
Okay.
And he was also trans. And like that, it's not a hidden fact at all. Like, he got married to his husband when they were both really young and transitioned after the marriage, and there is more family that came about, but Grandpa Thrun, Sir Thrun Noctaire Riverite the Third, definitely has taken you in under his wing after his husband passed away and is training you in a similar manner.
I love that. I don't
Uh,
know why, but I love that.
do you? It is traditional, but not necessary, to have among the gods that you would worship, because you can worship more than one god in my setting.
Mhm.
Because I'm a pagan, it's kind of like expected the pagans say, "Oh yeah, more than one god. Fucking why not? Who's gonna stop me? You? I dare you." But it is traditional that one of the gods would be the Bardic King.
Sure.
You can add more, but the Bardic King is within the wheelhouse. If you would like, you can also go through any of the others. We'll get into proper worship down the range.
Perfect. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Her pronouns are she, they, I think, because that's actually kind of perfect because if she had a trans dad, I think she would have grown up realizing that gender is a spectrum and she wants to honor that mentality. So that is actually honestly really perfect.
Oh yeah, gender is a spectrum in my setting, just in general.
Yeah, no,
But,
that's
like,
perfect. Love that. Poor Papa. I probably called him that just to annoy him. Like, Peepaw.
all right, Kate, you wanted to still go next?
Yeah, I don't want to lose this dice luck that's been going around.
All right, let's start off with your dice rolls, and then we will continue on from there.
All right. So 46, drop the lowest. Still?
4d6, drop the lowest.
All right. Okay, so we've got 16 to start.
Fucking course you do.
I don't want to lose this luck, whatever's happening. Okay, now we've got 12. Oh no. All right, luck is starting to run out. Oh no. 8 for the next one.
You're only halfway through.
Oh, okay. 11.
All right.
Okay. 15.
And one more.
And then 14. And I will try and roll a second set because that one was okay, but not the greatest.
No problem. Yeah, that first set is 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 8.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
That's not
That's
bad at
a
all.
But I
It's
will-
pretty close to like the normal spectrum that they would
Mhm.
have, just like a
Yeah.
little buffed.
Yep.
Like those
15,
are
14,
actually
12.
pretty solid rolls if you don't compare them to the rolls that were just had.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You know.
that's a good set. It's better than the standard array.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, the second set started out with an 18, so
Oh.
Oh, that's the max out you can get.
All sevens, the
Yeah.
rest of them, just all sevens.
yeah. Okay, 13.
All right.
Very good.
As a note, which hasn't come up yet, but if you have two stats that you roll that are a -1,
Hmm.
that is not a viable set.
Oh, okay. 15, the next one.
15, looking good.
Okay, and we've got 12.
You said 12?
Yes. And then how many more? I wasn't keeping track.
2 more.
2 more. Okay. Uh, 10, 15. So I will be taking that second. Well, actually, let's reread. 'Cause I kind of want that 18 if I end up going sorcerer.
Looks like we're needing one more.
Oh, sorry.
Unless I missed one.
I
This is the
squirreled.
one where you get a 3.
Actually, I got a 4. This one.
A total of 4?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you re-roll the ones in that particular roll.
Okay.
Because that is too low. That is
Too low.
that is like primal subhumaning rolls.
Okay, now it's a 13.
13. Maybe I should have just made you re-roll 2 of them.
I could just reroll. I could drop that 6 out of
You're
it
fine.
if you
You're
want.
fine. You're fine. This is fine. I'm just rolling up new gods for my setting.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. How are you?
This almost, like everyone else, never happens to me. I came in with just a couple of general vibes, and I wanted to see what the dice did before coming out with a
Yeah.
solid concept, because I didn't want to fall in love with the concept and have the dice just not work for it. So
Same
I don't-
here.
I don't know what's happening here, but I will take it.
All right. 2 small things of like minor bookkeeping. One, Bree,
Okay.
we never got what background you chose for your character.
I'm not set in it. Just full disclosure, because I
problem.
don't. I'm trying to find one that fits, but right now I followed my instincts and I went with soldier.
Okay.
But I'm not like
Solid.
madly in love with that. But you know what? We'll see.
All right. And second, Ursus, you have my permission for that, as long as you tag me. Which, by the way, really late in the game, I'm also on TikTok as D&D Kitten Jade. I know we're super late in the game on that one.
Oh, I forgot mine too. It's okay.
Well,
I'm
you know what?
just
Tell you what.
realizing I
At the
ghost
end,
spell.
we'll do a round of pimping our TikToks. It's fine.
Yeah, if you have a
perfect.
TikTok, you
Pimping
know,
our socials.
Yeah, pimping our
last,
socials.
at the very end, we'll do a shameless plug before the goodbyes.
I like it.
So, what are we thinking of? By the way, you can kind of tell where you are on my screen due to like where I'm looking on, like in this area, like because my camera is over here, and my monitor is here.
Honestly, from
I
our point of view, Guild, you're just looking off cam. That's it. Like, we can't necessarily direct where you're looking at on your screen. You're just looking, dramatically into the middle distance.
Yeah. I try to, at least when I'm doing like bigger stuff, and like talking directly to a character, Actually, a lot of times when I'm talking directly to a character, I'm looking at my screen so I can actually like have that connection as I can. But a lot of times I do try and remember to look at my camera. So, what is the vibe heading towards for?
I'm
Season?
debating between still a druid and a sorcerer. I've played sorcerers before, and I absolutely love them. And I have a general vibe of kind of a drow sorcerer that I've been thinking about. However, if the group needs a druid, I am okay going that route. And what I was looking for is the spread being spread out enough that I could go druid, because druid has to be, yes.
Whichever one you like the most, because like the idea of what the party needs is you to be happy as your player. Aside from that, take all those other preconceptions of what a party needs and just chuck it. If we have literally all casters, I don't care.
As a potential solution to that, sorcerers are more often blaster casters with a little bit of utility. If you go Stars Druid, that leans into that blaster casting, so you still get that, and you get the Druid part of it.
Ooh, I
And
like
both
that.
of those would lean very well into each other, seeing as the Druid, the Stars Druid, which admittedly that's looking at like level 3, which isn't bad looking ahead some, but Drow are from the Azir.
Yeah.
From the Sea of Stars initially.
Or
I've played a
alternatively,
Stars Druid before. They're great.
yes, the Circle of Stars Druid is a really cool subclass. Alternatively, you could go completely suboptimal. Take that second array of stats and go Sorcerer and just be a muscle sorcerer.
Oh yeah.
Be a what sorcerer? Say that one more time.
Muscles, because like your 18 would be in your strength, not your charisma. Your 13 is in your charisma, so you're a sorcerer, but you're jacked as hell.
I'm good with that.
Additionally, for like just added flavor for getting into your head of it, sorcerers are referred to as heritage mages. You're a mage. Like if you are a warlock, if you are a wizard, if you are a artificer, if you are a druid, you're a mage. The difference is sorcerers are known for having their heritage magic. Unless you're a wild magic sorcerer, in which case you are a chaos mage.
I was kind of leaning towards wild magic. Wild magic is my
it would make the campaign hilarious.
It is my favorite.
Are great. I do have my own roll chart that I've been currently using. I'm also it's not one I wrote up, it's one I found. I am slowly working up on my personal roll up, which is not going to be the usual like 2 of this one, 3 of this one. No, it's going to be literally genuinely 100 chances, like 100 literal different things that I'm personally slowly working on. I love the chart that I found. It's great chaos. I love it. But yeah, chaos mages are one of the 2 mages that would normally be brought in from the Mages Guild for testing if you have someone who is connected in it, testing if you are able to be a caster, because there are people who have like that pull with the Mage Guild of like, hey, my child is getting old enough to where they might be connected to magic, and getting ahead of oops, let's find out if they're connected. So a wild mage would come in and basically create a area of chaos, and if you have heritage magic, the child will set it off, and then they start bringing in like, okay, so you have magic in your blood, literally, some way or another. You have magic in your blood. If you're a chaos mage, that could happen literally anytime. Tapping into the winds of chaos, into like the genuine wind of magic.
Magic tastes like bourbon and garlic to her. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Delicious.
Love that.
I would
All right,
drink the
I'm
shit out of
leaning
that. So
Wild
yay.
Mage Sorcerer.
Wild
Wild
Magic.
Magic Sorcerer?
Yeah.
All right. As an additional note, on top of having Hordun Sioux as a language, you also have Ezri. I put it into the chat area. I can also put it. I will put it down into Discord later, unless Bear wants to drop that real quick for me.
Perfect.
Because you have those. Also, you also have one of the very minor magic items that you have both minor magic items that Ursus has, which is you have a
Okay.
set of basically sunglasses. It's a common magic item, and then a even less than mundane range is you have a home flag. Part of the traditions of those that came from the Ezri, from the Azir, is you have a flag that is major events in your life. When your parents got married, when you were born, the day that you graduated, if you actually went to one of the went in with the Mage Guild when you got properly certified, if you became a sailor on one of the many ships that do traveling back and forth, when you got that particular like marker, you were that was stitched into your flag, and when you left the Ezri, the Azir, when you left home, you were gifted your flag because your stars will return you home. May your stars always be bright, and may they always return you home. This is a feeling deep in those that sail those waters.
Oh, I love it.
So on top of having like the normal drowy stuff, you have a special set of sunglasses that are gifted to you probably by your captain, which you can finagle what ship that is. If you want to be like a consistent member of a ship, that is perfectly fine. If you want to just be a traveler, like I'm wanting to spend some time abroad, that is perfectly fine as well.
Probably to lean into a little bit of that chaos. And I'm assuming I'm going to go the opposite direction that you went, Bear, and have this particular drow be very young, and hasn't had many of those life experiences that other elves have had. So given that plus the chaos magic, I think she's just deciding she just wants to go out and experience more. So probably jumping from ship to ship. And then eventually make her way to the Mages Guild.
All right.
Possibly by accident. Who knows?
Possibly by accident. There are guild members that have been brought back and forth. There are outsiders that live in the cities. You can choose which city you originally came from: City of Dreams or the City of Memories.
City of Dreams.
Mages
City of
Guild. I've
Dreams?
got
All
that
right.
one here somewhere. Let's see. Hang on.
You were very mumbled.
That's okay. I wasn't looking directly at my microphone because I'm using my laptop. It's fine. I was making a terrible joke. Proceed.
Wait, now I want to hear the terrible joke.
I was doing an in-character bit. It's like, wait, hang on. I've got the Mage Guild one here somewhere, and starts digging.
I like it.
I do have to ask, if we do use a custom roll wild surge table, make sure 42 stays the potted plant, because it's just still funny.
It's not the potted plant. It is something else. I'm not going to tell anyone what it is.
Of course
and, throw out any of it. You will find out what the roll is as you roll them.
It's a whale.
Yes.
It's a
Because
sperm whale.
You don't know. Additionally, I personally strongly believe that only scholarly mages and inventors, so wizards and artificers appropriately, actually know the names of their actual spells. Because
Yeah,
like,
so it's all vibe.
well,
I
it's
am
not just all
100%
vibe, but like,
going to just make it up on the spot, Guild. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to yell what it is, whatever my character thinks it is, full Dragon Ball Z style. I'm going to yell it,
Yes.
and
I
then
was
you're going to
about
have
say,
to
go
ask me
anime
what the
weed with
fuck
it.
I'm casting.
exactly. But legitimately, how aside from like seriously, using prestidigitation for cleaning stuff, that's just abracadabra clean. Like,
I cast Roomba.
hey, Jonathan's cleaning spell. I like it. No,
What are you talking
Who's-
about?
who's
This is
Jonathan?
Karen's Cleaners.
like, yeah, like who
No, it's clean this shit up. That's the one.
Mhm.
again? It's
Yeah, no, it's
is
fine. I'll
all
do it
within the
myself.
theme, it's all within the feel. It is all within the setting. It feels right.
Hi, dog.
So yeah,
Dog break. Hi, dog.
Oh, puppy.
This is my
Puppy.
guide dog, Jessie.
Hi, puppy.
She's going, Mom, what you doing?
I need
all right,
attention.
so
hmm
I'm going to go on record and say that I am
Looking-
not going to be able to play this character fully sober, just so you're aware.
okay.
I don't play anything fully sober, so I mean, you're in good company.
So while you're continuing to figure out more of what your character feel is and all that, if you know what your
Yeah.
background is, cool. If you don't know what background you want to take yet, then we can continue on to whoever's next.
Yeah, continue on to the next person. I will go through kind of D&D Beyond and pick up a couple
Mhm.
things, and that will. I'm also a writer, but I wanted to get kind of the mechanical stuff done first, and then I'll kind of get into the storytelling and make sure that they both coincide with each other.
Absolutely, and we'll get
There's
like
two-
proper, like bigger connections of characters and proper, better introductions on proper session one.
Perfect.
There's
Okay.
two backgrounds that might actually work for the story, just jumping from ship to ship.
Mhm.
Both the Astral Drifter and the Wild Spacer from the Spelljammer setting.
The difference
Are
is
those available?
when people think the Astral Sea,
Everything is available because I am a whore.
Me
Yes.
too.
so when it comes to like the whole like Astral Sea thing, it is literally water.
Yeah.
Underneath those ships.
Okay.
So Matt, are you still wanting to wait until the very end?
Yeah, I am. I was just, providing a couple of ideas for them just in case.
All right. So
Thank you.
between
I'll go
Sylvane,
next.
Kitty, okay, you jumped in ahead of time.
Yeah, just because I already know my dice roll's gonna suck. I already won $20 on a $2 scratcher, so I think I just used my luck there. Hey, everyone has a vice. Some people drink, some people smoke. I eat, and I like to gamble. At least I have a chance of getting my money back.
$20 is free lunch. You got this.
Especially when I have
All
to
right.
stop at a rest on the way over. So
Let's get this
pretty
going.
I pretty much have everything done except for the dice rolls. I have most of my character already set up except for spells. So first one, I don't need to roll that d20 yet. 17. Ah. That helps if I don't throw my dice on the bed. 9.
9. Sorry.
13. Sorry, I'm dealing with shadows from 2 different lights as well, so it's taking a minute for some of these.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I got time.
15. 12. And I gotta do one more, right?
Correct.
10.
10. All right, that is a viable set.
Okay, I put up my spin down so I remember my stats and I forgot to use them. I know a 17, 10, 9. What was the other ones?
So the going from top down, you have a 17, 15, 13, 12, 10, and 9.
Okay, so
That
it's
is-
missing the 13 and the 12. I said.
Yeah. And I'm
Okay.
always willing to read off the ones. I'm putting them into the chat area.
That is almost
Or-
exactly the enhanced standard array the dungeon dudes use.
All right, let's see if the dice gods are gonna spit in my face on the second roll. Yeah, it's already starting with an 8.
Good.
So 8 on this first set.
You never know. That's only the first roll.
12. I'm remembering to put these down now. Math, 14. Two, 2, 2, and 2, so that's a 6.
That is not a viable set. We're starting over.
Starting over, 10-4.
Because an 8 and a 6 in the same set, that's not viable. So
All right, starting the first again. 16.
1, 6.
1, 6.
Okay.
Because I'd be cheating if I'd be doing 6-0.
Well, I thought 16 sounds very close to 15 as well.
Okay. I'm also a little bit on the running on just caffeine today. 11.
It's quite all right.
Caffeine, sugar, and spite, just not necessarily in that order. Another 14. Go into the tower, not the side. Another 8. I can live with an 8. 12.
One more.
And 12. I think I'm going to stick with my first set.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my first set.
I don't mind.
This is why I
The
put
reason I
numbers in
haven't
front of me.
been going
It's
after
just how my
salad
mind
is because I've
works.
been talking so much.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind talking.
Okay.
Not everyone likes the sound of my voice, but occasionally I do. So I think every dungeon master has to like the sound of their own voice just a little bit.
Accurate.
I'm reasonably certain
I
I'm
can
the only
vouch
one
for
that
that.
likes the sound of my voice.
No, because I have binged through so many of your videos in the past. And then there's Jade, but that's for a different reason.
Is that one?
I can't help that I'm hot.
The fact that she's not denying this statement. So, Katy, what are we thinking?
Bard, I'm going to go more of a versatile route.
All
So,
right.
like, my spells in combat is, I am still keeping a little bit of Band-Aid. I am going to have at least one healing spell. Just because that's just who I am as a player, and it works out well.
Yeah,
Besides, it gives me a
I think
chance to use
everyone in this
vicious
party
mockery on my own.
so far is able to take at least one healing spell, except for one.
The one playing fighter.
Wait, no, not necessarily. You could at level 4.
I
With
don't
the
know
right-
if
with the right
Silver
feat.
is responsible enough to be the healer.
Not the healer. You have an entire party of healers.
Yeah, but
Okay.
she's gonna probably be self-centered enough that she's gonna be like, no.
There's a
Just
difference
kidding.
between being the healer and being a healer. It's a pretty significant difference.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
What ancestry are we thinking of?
I'm a human. I'm going the variant human.
All right.
So
Yeah.
you're going to be a mix of direct combat and holding back with your spells.
Mostly melee for combat. Spells is going to be for everyone else. The other spells I'm looking at is more like out of combat, like comprehend
Okay.
languages and such.
Utility. Okay.
Yeah, remember this. I got to think about this while I'm driving. So certain spells that are combat, I got to know this. I've been playing since 2nd edition.
Got it.
So some of these spells I'm still learning how they work in 5th ed. This is maybe my 3rd, 4th character, and this is the only 2nd spellcaster I've got. But most of these spells are pretty much the same thing as what I play, just they changed it up so I can get it down in my head fairly well.
Yep.
I have a thought in my head, but for my character and how I want to play it, I need a weapon that I can't afford right now. I chose crossbow mastery as my human feat because I'm planning on dual wielding hand crossbow and short sword.
Very fun.
This is a reiteration from the character I tried playing with a DM that didn't work out. She was dual wielding daggers that were throwing, but I saw the feat and I'm like, you know what? Let's try this. This looks like fun. Let's do something stupid.
Yeah. Crossbow master is a great feat for that.
I plan on dual wielding like that a lot. So, and she is in the finesse. I already got the stats already down too. I had everything pretty much set.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
For just a second, I thought you'd said not you were wielding a hand crossbow, but you were wielding 10 crossbows. And I was like, what the fuck?
No, I can't afford it. It's 75 gold right now, so I can't afford it quite yet. But
one in their mouth, and then like holding a couple, and then attached to their feet. So every step that you take, it shoots out.
Okay, here's the thing. If I was playing Nico, I would dual wielding short swords and throwing daggers with my tail. Okay, but unfortunately, I don't have a tail. I have a big ass. So,
And so far, you are the only short-lived race, and the only short-lived ancestry.
And what else is new? Wait till I get farther in my history.
As a note, for humans, because you are the only, like, really the most mundane of ancestries. Everyone gets like that little something.
I'm vanilla.
You are able to kind of ish tell when you are near like undead or magic, like magical items. Magical items smell like ozone, and undead makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It is undefined, 30 feet. So, like, if something is within 30 feet, you don't know where. Just, you know, if it's undead, it's just that unease, that feel, or if it's
the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, and if it's magic items, like you smell it, you taste it, like yeah, there's magic in this area. Like you are the least magical touched of the ancestries. Like every other ancestry, you get something fancy, awesome, and cool, and humans are just everywhere.
They're boring. Well, at least the normal humans are boring. And besides, a lot of humans are stupid too. I mean, at least in the real world.
You don't have to tell me. I work IT support.
Have you tried reconfiguring the power coupling?
No, I decided to get another job elsewhere in the agency so I don't have to deal with end users.
I need to send you that TikTok at some point. It'll make you upset. Anyways, seeing as you're wanting to go last, Kiki, do you have anything else you want to add for your character range that you're wanting to talk about before we roll?
Before we roll what?
Into the next person.
I do have my background already set. I'm just typing this down because I know my brain. I have squirrel. Undead.
Squirrel.
I'm busy.
I love how like half the fucking group just.
Actually, I should look that way because that way's a wall.
Okay. I have my phone on shut up mode, but there's a few people that have to go through it just because of work. especially if they decide to change my appointment times. I've had that happen twice. My background is Outlander.
Alright.
I love that background.
Yeah, well, it just fit like this because it's something that just felt like it felt right. And with one of the suggested characteristics with thing, I'm pretty much the last one that's survived of my tribe, so that's why I became a bard for the historian. I want to make sure everyone knows what my race was. Now I haven't decided whether they died due to combat, disease, famine, infertility. I haven't decided that part yet. I literally did all this within the last 30 minutes. I had a basic idea down, and this and everything else, I just threw it out. So that's why I came out to the main city, was to learn, to tell my story, make sure that the tribe is not forgotten. Or the
You are
city, or
coming
wherever
in
it
at
came
a
from.
perfect time and a perfect place. We'll get more into that properly at session 1. But Mandan is the perfect place for that.
Now, I do have a question. Currently, I was able to pick up a long sword from the item pack. Is there any way I can convert that to a short sword, or am I just stuck with it?
We can convert that to a short sword for you real quick.
Okay, because it's either that or can you dual wield a quarterstaff where you attack twice with it?
I do not believe in
Quarterstaff is not light; it's versatile.
Yeah, which means
Okay, that's what I thought. In 3.5, when I used the quarterstaff, it was a two-edged, so that's why I wanted to make sure. So in that case, I would like to switch it to short sword, so that way at least I can dual wield my dagger and short sword until I get my hand crossbow.
All right.
And that's pretty much the gist of it.
Seeing as Matt is demanding to go at the very end.
So demanding.
I could just be DM and pull rule 0.
I'm a spoiled rich kid. What did you expect?
Hey, we have something on my table called DM Reach. Well, at least when we're playing on the table.
Where the DM can smack you through the screen?
Yeah, that's why the screen's saving some people, but otherwise I'm like, DM Reach, smack him.
I mean, that's why DMs use metal dice. They're called player killers.
That's actually legitimately
I
why I
had
have a set of foam D20s in my box. I have legitimate foam, not D20s, D6s. Like I got them at the dollar store, and I just have the D6s. Just
I have 2 plushy D20s at home and like 3 sets of foam D6s for the same reason.
I have a plushie, like a big plushie D20, and
Mm-hmm.
because we name all of our D20, all of our plushies, all of them have names. That one is the attack of opportunity.
I need to find. I have a lucky dice, and I can't find it. Its name is Pepto because it looks like Pepto Bismol.
Can I change?
First. Go ahead.
Can I change topics real fast and ask a quick question for our lovely DM?
Absolutely.
I'm looking at, and you can totally shut me down if this is jumping too far ahead. Do you have any qualms with what weapon I take?
What weapon are you looking at?
Great sword.
Give me 1 second. I
almost went with axe, but that's a little too stereotypical for me for a dwarf.
Stereotypical for a dwarf, specifically a miner, would be either a hammer or battle pick, but that's just my opinions.
Oh, no worries.
What weapon out of your set would you be wanting to replace that with?
Oh, no, I'm saying, can I keep the great sword, or are you saying nah?
Oh, so you're wanting to
do not something not stereotypical, because again, that's just a character thing.
So you're wanting repeat what your repeat the proper request from beginning. Now that I have stuff in front.
Yeah. Are you okay if I use a greatsword as my weapon, or do you want something that would be stereotypical for the dwarf that she's a part of?
Out of your standard gear, what weapon would you be replacing out of that, or are you allowed to just pick any martial weapon from your
I think
gear?
I think I can just pick, like, because what?
Because if you can pick a great sword,
Oh no, I like went in and like searched for it because I have a hand axe. Oh, I have a longsword. I could do a longsword instead. Never mind.
yeah, you can upgrade to a great sword later down. If,
Yeah.
you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I totally forget that I haven't played, full disclosure, I haven't played level 1 in a very long time. So I forget, like, you aren't just handed things. Like, you have to start with what they give
you
you.
gotta
So
start
I
with what?
apologize, guys.
There's like a handful of like very small things. Like, yes, there are 2 players that currently have common magic items. By common, I mean like there are no magic item shops in my setting. Like, I personally am opposed to them as just like a thematic thing. If you want to find magic items, you usually have to know someone who knows someone, or it's a rumor that you heard of. There's this thing in this place, and good luck. Sometimes you'll find them randomly in like hordes of things that members of the Adventurers Guild got killed in.
Perfect.
But
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
yeah,
I appreciate you.
longsword, I believe, is something that you
They've died in this helmet. Do you want it?
Yes.
But yeah,
Thanks, Dave.
longsword, I believe, is base book allowance. So and your grandfather, Sir Thrun, also wields a sword. If you have, you've probably seen at one point him without a shirt on, because, like, you know, it just happens, like, you know, changing from one thing to another. It's fucking hot. You don't have to worry about it. Just fucking deal with it. And you've seen the tattoo of a sword that goes from like the base of his skull down his spine of a sword. I will send you the inscription later. It is written both in Dwarvish and Orcish. The lettering is kind of like between. It is an homage to his late husband.
My heart.
Dwarkish.
I love it. I'll DM you a couple other questions. But I just thought I'd ask because I'm like looking at my inventory oh my god, eventually I have so many thoughts. Thank you for that. My heart is all warm.
There's a whole subgenre of romance.
Also
that's all
plays the
just
guitar.
What'd you say?
Thrun plays the guitar. That's how he worships. He learned it from his husband.
Now I have this like hot orcish individual just like noodling on the guitar in a church.
Oh no, it'd be more on a bar. Fucking why?
Well, the bar isn't the bar the church?
Why go to a cathedral and worship there when you can worship with your friends at a bar? Sing, my friends, for this is where our God came. Sylvane, are we ready to roll dice?
I am never ready to roll dice. What are you talking about? Is that why we're here? Oh my goodness. That's terrifying.
Have you sacrificed
Okay.
to the dice gods recently?
You know.
Apparently I did, because of all of the fucking insane goddamn rolls that everyone's fucking had up until now.
I'm still trying to figure out what it is they actually like, because it always seems that they fucking hate me. the amoral dice god. You know. Let me see here. All right. So you said it was 46. Yes, right?
What is that?
46, dropping the lowest.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, for all the people who may be watching and wondering, is this person a fucking idiot? It's just because I've literally never played 5th edition before, and I haven't played a proper game in quite a long time. So
So-
do bear with me here.
One of the reasons I picked like 90% of our table the way I did is because I'm not taking the shoulder of teaching someone how to play the game on my own, which I'm happy with. I'm happy with teaching, but like
14.
I'm sharing this burden. If you guys will allow it, I'm sharing this burden
Walking sideways.
with Bree, with Matt, with Adam, because like, and with Kate, if you also want to like partake in the whole like teaching someone how to play, it's
Jesse's
great.
helping too.
These Kitty and Sylvane are the reason number one that we're going from level 1 is they've not played a lot in 5th edition. A lot for one of them, none of it at all for another. So like level 1 is a great way to start learning how to play the game.
Hell yeah. I just rolled 2 14s in a row, so okay, I guess. I think that's medium. Okay.
That's pretty good, actually.
Right.
That's actually pretty good for some starting rolls. Average hero, the average hero stat is
Ooh.
like 12, 13. So
Yeah,
That's a 16.
15.
15, nice.
Yeah.
16? 6, 1,
16.
16.
Oh, 16. The mask is making it a little difficult.
I apologize for that. I apologize.
It's all right. Once we get past this area, it'll be a little bit easier. A personal suggestion I have is if you have a lavalier mic that you can connect that can get underneath the mask, I might try and figure something out and bring it to you in October or sooner, possibly.
in our real life correspondence, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I might also poke you in real life just like because why not?
Because it's fun.
That's an 11.
All right. We get 2 more rolls off of this set.
Okay, shit, that's a 10. All right, cool.
A 10.
Yep.
All right, 1 more roll.
$17.
17. That is not a bad set. In total, your set is, and you're typing it down too. All right, so yeah, I'll let you type out your second set as you're rolling it. So if you want to roll the second set, you are perfectly allowed to.
Who knows? Maybe I'll get like all max rolls.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Like this entire role abilities for this all everyone.
1 5. That's a 15.
All right.
Mm, Oh, that's an 18. Holy shit. All right.
18 is the best you can get.
That's a good array.
That's a 12. Damn, usually the dice gods hate me. but I guess
I think
today is an
I think it might be
exception.
me. I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that. It might be me. It might be this session.
It might be.
You might not be able to roll higher than a 5 on your d20s, but like, good.
15? What the hell?
Holy shit!
We drop a 1. That's a 9. Okay, cool. So we're getting some like balance here.
And next roll is going to be another fucking 18. Ooh.
Ooh.
Last roll is a...
Last roll is an 11.
That's not bad. 18, 15, 15, 12, 11, 9.
That first array is real good too.
Yeah, that first array doesn't have a negative.
Yeah. The second array does look more interesting, but that first array gives some really great heroic builds, depending
It
on how you
does.
want to play it.
Admittedly, like heroic build range might just get forced on you. As a side note, I made some D&D Beyond shenanigans, unfortunately, for my other table that I run. I forced everyone to have to basically homebrew a level for themselves because I forced a level of other class onto every single character at the table. So I basically bumped everyone up by a unwanted class level. My totem barbarian got forced a 1/3 level, so only level 3. So it's just one roll, one max out health of the D12, and he was forced a level of wild magic barbarian. So whenever he rages, he now has to roll that D8. He didn't want it, but now he doesn't have a choice because shenanigans that happened to the party. I gave one of my other players access to wild magic because of shenanigans. So Sylvane,
You know
what are
what?
you thinking of?
You know what? So I had actually 2 characters that I was thinking of. I might have mentioned before to you specifically that I typically just generally play wizards, like not just in D&D, but just, in life. Like I am a wizard and I always play wizards and sneakies, and this time I thought I might play a bard, and I kind of wanted to play an intellectual bard who is kind of going this route of like thinking of themselves as kind of similar in life to a wizard, even though they were kind of that they are literally a bard. So I am actually thinking I'm going to go with the character that I'd kind of made up as my bard that we kind of discussed at a Denny's late in the morning, early in the morning, late in the night, however the hell you want to look at that. Yeah, I kind of want to go with Fiacre Marlowe, the tiefling bard who kind of specializes not in song, but more in just the written word, kind of a literary bard um who I guess I kind of think of it this way, just because we are in a fantasy universe doesn't mean that there aren't fantasy books in the universe, right? Like, even people who live in the Forgotten Realms or Azeroth or literally whatever place you're in, they're going to have their own fantasy stories. And my character, this bard, this tiefling, is going to kind of be a fantasy otaku who is obsessed with the idea that when people hear a story, they are inspired, right? And so this character is not necessarily someone who is the most social kind of person, very, very much like kind of a nerd who just like has spent their entire life reading fiction books and fantasy books, and but they're definitely not sort of like a loner. I mean, they've read the Master of the Hoops before. um some of you will be aware of what I'm referencing. But definitely, sort of someone who understands that there's power in common purpose and there's power in the written word. And so I think I'm going to have to go with the second array there, and put both those 15s into intelligence and dexterity, and put that 18 in charisma, because this is the kind of character who likes to lace every word with magic and try to always be kind of inspiring or discouraging or influencing people.
All right. If I could make a suggestion for like the worshipping Venn diagram range, it sounds very much like your character would be connected towards both Dorichid and King Lao as people that you would sorry, there's some sound in my background that I'm hoping none of you can hear.
We can hear it.
Just a little bit. Dorichid is the one that I think is most interesting immediately, for sure, to Fiacre.
By the gods.
C'est la vie, right? The show must go on.
Yeah. And apparently so did the sneezing.
Yeah, that happens.
It sounds like
Yeah.
right down my hallway, like right.
Damn. All right. Yeah,
anyways,
but
like following both sounds like a base range.
Yeah, look, that is
yeah,
some
absolutely.
epic sneezes. Like, genuinely.
Those are like.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
those
kind
are
of
top
impressed.
tier.
The fact that this is coming from a nurse who I don't think is actually covering her mouth, from what I can hear, like
No, definitely not.
I mean,
At
All right,
most
here's the thing,
in
here's
the
the thing.
elbow.
There's no need to
So-
cover your mouth if you're alone in a room.
in the habit, and like I live in
Yeah,
this
but
house.
then you leave it floating around to settle on objects.
But okay, if
in
you
said
have
room.
roommates and
And
it's your
her
own
dog.
room,
This is a
She's not in her
fascinating
room,
conversation.
She's in the living room. There's a difference.
Well,
here.
This is a fascinating
the hilarious part
conversation.
is, considering all of the good rolls that we've had, apparently some of the responses to that is somebody got the sneezes.
We haven't
Because we
gotten
rolled
to
so
line
well.
yet.
the fallout to the good rolls is somebody has the sneezies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take it because I'm terrified you guys took all the luck. And I already have forever DM dice roll luck.
Listen, in the middle of all this, my second skin popped on my brand new tattoo. So I think that's also a good sign. We have sneezing, second
Amazing.
skin,
Oh,
spillage,
speaking
and
of tattoos,
yeah.
My
this is,
goodness.
like semi-related in like tattoo range. I've had a cover up that I've been working on for like a bit. This the going back for the second time. which hurt like a motherfucker because they had to go like twice as deep. Held.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yay! Oh,
Some of
that's
the
good.
white doesn't break out as much as I'd like it to, but for the most part, it's held so much better. I do not have to worry about removing my finger to remove her name from my hand. So
I have
like,
8 tattoos, and this one was the most painful. So I fucking
Oh.
feel ya.
oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Not only that, not only have I had to have this tattoo done twice.
Oh no.
This is why
This
you
tattoo was
don't
done.
tattoo people's names on your body.
The first one, I'm pretty sure was an apprentice, and I think he fucking not only tattooed my finger, but the bone inside of it.
The shit's gonna be permanent.
I'm about to like say something really controversial, and Katie, this might also be my villain story origin again.
I'm curious now.
And another sign that I'm at the BEG or whatever. Tattoos to me feel good. Like they don't hurt me.
Oh yeah, no, I've
This
my
tattoo-
new
yeah.
one, my new one took 10 hours. My skin wasn't raised. It wasn't red. I was just like, this is nice.
This
Being a
tattoo, I fell
masochist
asleep
is
in
a
the chair.
thing.
What?
This tattoo,
Being
I
a
fell asleep in the
masochist-
chair.
Yeah, being a masochist is a thing. I hope you're aware of this.
I'm not a masochist though. I just am like, wow,
Uh-huh.
Aren't you though?
The
Allegedly.
pain tolerance. Yeah.
Aren't
Really
Present,
high pain
present
tolerance.
evidence before the court.
I'm very high pain tolerance.
good.
That doesn't sound like a villain origin story to me. That just sounds like you're really good at tattoos. Getting
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Bree, you're just winning tattoos. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
All right. So, any other
Okay.
aspect ranges that you want to go over, Sylvane, before we move on?
Just briefly, I'll just mention that I've been thinking about this bard for a little while. As some of you know, I am a writer. I am currently working on a series of fantasy books. So I actually, my problem generally is too many ideas rather than not enough. And this character in particular is actually the only one out of the entire list of characters that I'd prepared for this game that is actually totally original to it. And I would be thus importing from the game to my own works. And I kind of came up with them with this kind of idea behind them that they're not they're a bard, but they're not kind of sort of the stereotypical bard, right? Like this bard is the kind who, likes to have sort of fancy roughly fronted skirts and has the leather armor, but is also like kind of class conscious and like kind of aware of the fact that like there is inequality in the world, and that this character is someone who, despite being a bard, thoroughly believes that violence is often the right answer. I have a quote here that I just like jotted down as far as like something that I think that they might say, which is like, maybe someday I'll be strong enough to use words that will achieve peace and equality, but trust me, nobody is that powerful yet. And yeah, so they know enchantment magic well enough to know that it's not some magic bullet that achieves all ends. That there's still work to be done, even if you know how to tell someone what to do and the magic of your words can force them into doing it. That there's more work to be done than simply saying a word and forcing someone to obey it. Yeah, I like this character as someone who constantly has magic lacing their words. So, when they say things like, right, I took a cantrip. I see that tail. When they take a cantrip called friends that, you give yourself advantage on interactions with people. And I think that that's really core to their character, that, they're not just out there casting a spell. They're out there trying to use all of their words to achieve their ends, and they're lacing all their words with magical properties. And so this is a character I'm very, very excited to role play. They're definitely not like the friendliest, most cuddly kind of person, but they're definitely, sort of someone who values the strength of a group. So yeah,
I don't
Gil.
I don't want to give you unsolicited advice, so please throw this out the window if you don't want it. But as you were talking about your character, you should look at detect thoughts if that's an option.
I see. I'll take a look at that. I didn't necessarily. I'm
Detect
not
thoughts is a
exactly
second
aware.
level spell, so it won't be for a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna say I didn't necessarily see that on my starting spells,
Mhm.
but I'll take a look. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Another thing,
that.
one thing to know about friends though is as soon as it wears off, the other person knows they were friended and they become hostile.
Oh, absolutely. And it actually something interesting about the cantrip is that it doesn't say. I'll only correct that it doesn't specifically, to my knowledge, say that they become hostile, but that they are aware of it, and
They are
they
aware of it, yes.
probably respond negatively. And
Yes.
that's kind of to Guild,
So
at
they
least
tend to
to
become
this side
hostile.
for
That
me.
is genuinely within the how the interaction overall goes, but it is the fact that they are aware.
Yeah, and this character is someone who manipulates people almost as
Mhm.
rote of habit.
Might
And
seek retribution in there in other ways at the
Yes.
DM's discretion, depending
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the
That
nature of your interaction with it.
that said, a bard is a very good class for what you're going for. And you've got a lot of flexibility in how you want to lead that. You could go lore bard and lean into more skills and proficiencies and expertise, get a few extra secret spells, or you could go eloquence and be very persuasive. I had an eloquence bard at one of my tables before.
We'll see what the colleges, which college calls to you as we get
Yeah.
closer to level 3.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've looked at a few of them right now. My temptation is to go glamour bard and give my bard
Is my next one, yeah.
a kind of like in like Lord of the Rings when Galadriel kind of like
Mhm.
imagines what she'd be like if she took the ring.
In place of a Dark Lord, you shall have a queen. Sorry.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. So like that's
A-
kind of like what I'm kind of imagining for
A
this
glamour bard is
Um,
also perfect for that.
I'm
And
just
it would go great with the tiefling, a fey tiefling flavoring.
Aesthetic.
It's
yeah,
very
because
nice.
this bard is someone who is kind of a little bit low key obsessed with the fae, and is actually kind of a fae hunter, not necessarily in the sense that they want to kill fae, but like that they want to hunt them down and trap them and tie them up and torture them for information. like
Oh, so
like
Luton
I want to know everything that you know about your people. Tell
So-
me.
Sylvane, you're basically just playing me as a character. It's fine. Do your thing.
Awesome. I'll do my best.
I do have to say, I have a friend I want you to meet because they also have a Fey themed tiefling. They're doing a Fey warlock patron as a tiefling. It's great.
Delightful. Anyway, Gil, that was what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Absolutely. I am looking forward to where their story progresses. And seeing as we have now come all the way around to that full circle to the person who is all no. Seeing as there's a lot of gaps to technically fill, too many to where you
Yes.
can actually just pick one and be the perfect party.
Actually, based on this, we've got a very good. I've got a very good narrowing down of the role that primarily needs to be filled.
Yeah, the one that's played by you, which is the you role, because there is no such thing as roles in the setting, because like we don't need that.
But I need it because I have
The
autism
only
and I
way
don't
that roll
understand
is going to
social
play into
interaction.
this, no, hold on. The only way that roll is going to play into this is if you roll well in a specific order in this particular roll off. So here's the thing: we could use a cleric. I'm not gonna lie. We could use a cleric,
Yeah.
but that only works is if you roll well in wisdom.
So
No,
one of the
yeah.
things I did pull off as a saving range is, I'm not sure if anyone has been doing this else themselves. You get to put your stats where you want to. It's not rolling in order. I was thinking of forcing that. I decided against it, which is I thought I had said that out loud properly before.
One thing
You
I
did not,
will
and I'm going to
note.
change some things.
Okay, good. Yeah, I forgot to apparently say that out loud properly. I thought it loudly. But apparently it didn't go out loud enough outside of the echo chamber.
I didn't memorize detect thoughts today, so I didn't
here's
catch
the
that
thing,
one.
Guild.
Yes.
I love you, but I am not a mind reader.
I didn't expect you to be. I thought that I said the thing, and apparently I didn't say the thing. So like that's all on me.
Two things. One,
You said the loud part quiet, the quiet part loud.
I'm a little bit tipsy. Two, I have literal brain damage from 14 concussions. So you might have said the thing, and I missed it entirely. I might
I
change
also
that.
have
No.
brain damage due to several concussions, falling down a flight of stairs, and I almost suffocated in a box as a child.
No. It wasn't
I
safe.
just have dogs.
Oh yeah, no, you
Dog
made it
was-
completely off camera. I've made a small comedy routine about it. It's fine.
All of mine
Oh,
were
I
as a
thought that
result
was
of
really
stupid
good.
people. So
There was
My
another
brain damage is
reason
from
I
working retail
chose.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It's like I worked retail 17 years. That's enough.
How are you still sane?
Wait, what's
that was an
sanity?
option.
I've
Yeah,
never
fair
met
enough.
sanity. Who the fuck is that?
That's true.
Of course, it's
Um,
like people ask me if I'm out of my mind. Of course I am. It's dark and scary up there.
I didn't do 17 years. I did 13 years in retail, and that was enough. I don't need
Yeah.
more.
There was another reason I waited, is because I am also the most technically minded of the rules. I do live in them. I know most of you live your stories, and that's great, and I want you to because that'll help me stretch. But I love my little mechanics. I build my characters from the themes of the mechanics and then come up with a story from there. I have nothing right now. I have a few race, class, subclass combos in my head, but we're going to roll, see what happens, and we're going to do a little bit of a dancey dance and go through some concepts.
All right, and also if you want any more lore dump stuff, I am happy to give any more lore dumping, like general knowledge.
Okay. First roll. Ooh, I need to pull up my list so I can actually make an array.
I can also type it down.
Yep. 13. If it's out, I re-roll it. It fell out of my dice tray. I had one dice. Cool. Ooh.
Allegedly.
15. Eek. Balls, that's a 7. Better. Another 13. Ooh, that's a 16.
You want to join the game, dog? Yes.
That's an 11 for the first array.
And that is a viable set.
Yeah, it is. That's not what I'm looking for one of my builds.
Hey, Jesse, cast guidance.
That's a 10. Like I told you, I was letting you guys get all your luck in too.
Can I use Bardic Inspiration?
There's a 16.
I will
Okay.
also use Bardic Inspiration.
Here's the thing, Matt. I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration, and I'm going to give you advantage in this next roll.
All
That's all I
right.
got.
Well, I got a
Jesse's-
9.
Jesse's currently casting guidance.
I'm going to throw this out there, Katy. Your dog is giving me the most amount of life, and I've needed this so hard this last
Oh,
week,
good.
like genuinely.
And that
good.
is another 9.
That set is now
Alright.
inviolable. You get to restart that set.
I'm glad that she's not being obnoxious because I was a little bit nervous sometimes when I'm
Oh, no,
like
it's
sitting
a
down
s-
doing things for long
Yeah,
periods.
that's a
She's like,
7.
No, she
Yeah.
is the cutest
Starting off
thing
with a
ever, and I
7.
love it.
7. I'm so glad.
That's a wait, no, that's a 10.
So close to
I
I forgot I
invalidating
meant
this
to roll the second array digitally instead of physically, but you know. That's 11.
There's another way to invalidate a set.
That's a 12.
Holy gee willikers.
That's an 8.
That is
All
a
right.
valid set.
All right, I'm gonna roll this next set digitally in D&D Beyond. Let's
All right.
first set is a 13,
can I help you?
an 11, a 9, an 11, a 14, and a 14. So it's a valid set.
Give me 1 second.
Seems like.
Aren't y'all glad I let y'all go first and take all the luck?
Oh, yes. Well,
Can I
you're
gift
the
you one of my other
master of
sets?
mechanics, so won't
Yeah,
you be able to do
there's,
something with whatever you get?
I can. It'll just be a little harder. I like my big numbers, but
Numbers help,
yeah.
especially
big
when the math rocks
numbers.
like you. Can we gift you one of our discarded sets?
No.
Oh man.
We must honor this
Okay.
because I think this is the way the universe is telling me, no, stop trying to be a super badass. You're gonna be the fool and the one who always rolls weird.
But everyone loves a fool.
Also, you can
Yeah.
still be a fool and a badass at the same time. I've seen
Yeah.
people do that.
Yeah,
There's a
haven't
trope.
you ever played Die?
Yeah, there's actually a trope for that. The crouching moron, hidden badass.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say that.
And as you level up, you can like adjust those
Mm-hmm.
feet, those stats that you want later on.
The reason I also like additional high numbers on my first ones is because I can get to the numbers I want on the ability scores and then jump into feats.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, this will be more fun.
I can work with these. Maybe not that one.
Look,
but I
I've never
think I can
played
work with
5th
this
edition
one.
ever, so I feel like me having decent rolls and you having shit rolls, like, we're
you're
on an
just
almost
like-
even playing field.
Yeah, you're giving Sylvane a chance to really play a badass character. That's what you did. This is just like you being generous, Matt.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why I did it the way I did it.
All right, so I'm
So
gonna
really,
give
you
an
are the hero of the day.
Yeah, you are the hero, like you wanted to be. You are the badass.
Matt,
I
I'm gonna
live
give
to
you an
serve.
option on this.
Okay.
But you have to take it before I hit enter. Do you want one of your 2 sets or do you want my set? I just rolled a set. I just rolled a viable set. I'm not telling you what is in this
It's
set,
worse. It's worse.
but I'm giving you the option. Do you want to use the mystery set? Or
It's
do
worse.
you, which means if you take this set, you have to use those numbers. You can put them where you want, but you have to use those numbers. Or you won't remove.
May I ask you one question about the set?
No.
You can ask anything.
What
But
is the
she
lowest
doesn't have to
number?
answer. They don't have to
A
answer.
number.
Okay.
I never said I was going to give you an answer. You asked, can I ask you something? And I said you can. I
They
never
never-
said I was going to actually.
Correct. They never said that.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, it is time for a box of doom roll.
I believe that's
Also-
copyrighted, so we'll just call it a.
Box of Doom is 100% not copyrighted. Dropout is not going to copyright
So-
that shit.
all
I
right.
have two individual sets of D20s. I have the imprisoned D20 from the cage set, and then I have a very similar copper filigreed D20 that was gifted from a friend. I often use these when I am running a table to make very big decision rolls.
All right, let's bring it on to the actual. Like, I know you have a.
Yes, I can.
Also, sorry, animal break again. My
It's
cat
fine.
Pickle just decided to say hi.
So what we're gonna
Did
do
Pickle?
is I'm gonna roll
Pickle,
here.
yeah.
Which
No.
dice should I use? The prison
Copper.
dice? All
Copper.
right, still agreed. On a 11 or higher, we will use the gift array. That is a 15.
All right.
I will take the gift array.
Those are your stats.
And I can definitely work
Yes.
with this. I like
Yes.
this. Okay, let me get them down. So it's got a 16.
16,
15.
15,
Oh, that's a good
13,
set.
13,
That's a
13,
decent set.
10.
Okay.
Now you can be the
I can
hero
work
we
with
need.
this. I can work
It's
with this.
very average. But you
Yes.
have a 16 in there, which makes
Yep.
it more than viable. You have a 15 in there, and you don't have a negative. It's a lot of odd numbers,
Correct.
which makes like building range a little weird.
Well, but that means I can focus on, instead of doing ASIs, I do feats that give me like a +1 and then feature.
Mhm.
You are all so lucky that I am now past my I was not taking feats phase. Because
There,
it is a variant rule in 5th edition.
Okay, yep.
Feats are
Ugh.
not necessary as a gifted item, but I am being kind to all of you and allowing that.
My goodness
I have
gracious.
a character that I really love that is that has a feat, 2 feats. So like, why have my favorite character that has those?
So this brings us to the kind of character I want to build. Because
Okay.
the one role I always love to play if no one else is playing it, a role that does need to be filled and should be played, is the sneaky boy.
Fantastic.
We all love a sneaky.
Counter-
So,
sneaky
I
boy.
just have
I think
something to throw out there. Sorry, Guild.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to throw this out there. The reason why I chose Battle Master is because I can make it flexible, and
Mhm.
I typically put my stats in deck, so you will have some sort of
Mhm.
sneakiness with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
I
I
love being a
don't.
battle master.
Yeah,
They're
so that's
great.
why, like, as like someone who's new to the guild's life too,
Mhm.
a rogue can be kind of hard to DM with. I'm not trying to judge. No, you're fine with that. Okay.
So-
I was trying to be conscientious of everyone, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Mhm.
Don't like, if you want to play sneaky, please play sneaky. But that's also one of the reasons why I chose Battle Master.
In my last campaign, the one that I've been kind of DMing for a while, one of the players multi-classed into rogue,
Mhm.
starting off as a Gloomstalker Ranger. So like sneakiness, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. I am personally in a play-by-post campaign. I am playing a Gloomstalker Ranger Hexblade enhanced Pact of the Blade Warlock that is going to go Arcane Archer fighter.
Okay.
Like when I think of like I'm gonna be a really, really, really evil, badass, rules as written, over the top archer. Adam, are you thinking of how those classes roll over in each other?
Yep, sure am. My brain is kind of melting right now.
Yeah.
Have you
Because
seen
one
how
of my
round 1 is devastating when you hit level 11?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
because one of my sneaky boy choices was actually not the rogue, because one of my other builds was going to be a Mordenkainen's from Mordenkainen's a Goblin Gloomstalker Ranger, because the Goblin race from Mordenkainen's gives me the bonus action hide right off the bat. And I already have some idea for that. But if I went rogue, that also makes me more a skill monkey, has some expertise, some very good proficiencies, great for some utility. And I mean, I do have a lock picking set.
Fancy.
One of my thoughts was maybe to do an artificer, but ultimately the reason I always like to fill empty roles is because by doing that, I know everyone will get a place to shine in the heroics. I know DM can always make a story shine, but it's always fun to have the one thing that you're good at. And I like being good at stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I always hold my ruling of you can't have the same subclass twice in my setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if one person takes a subclass, they have it. No
Mhm.
one else in the party can have that subclass, because like then you're taking away from their shine, their
Of
spotlight,
course.
and this is a
Um,
spotlight opportunity thing.
Because this is great because we do have a lot of great places filled. Silver, were you looking for your battle master to be a ranged fighter then? Or up close? Because if you're up close, then we do need a harasser. Someone's good with pulling a bow. I think.
This is just me maybe reading in, and sometimes you do have to just take a cigar as a cigar. But you smile way more when you're talking about that ranger. Just gonna throw that out there. Like your face lights up so much more.
I
agree.
did have a short stint where I did have an Owlin Gloomstalker Ranger. And because the Gloomstalker feature gives you an extra 30 feet, and the Owlin has 120 feet of dark vision, it had 150 feet of dark vision and a flying speed.
Hot take. It's never cigar. It's always a penis.
I'm cool with that.
Arousing.
Yeah.
Saucy.
Because part of the reason I was leaning towards rogue is you get a few more expertises right off of the top, and we need somebody to pick those locks. But I
will also say my sorcerer has a 17 dexterity right now.
Mhm.
I am still working on backgrounds. I was thinking about doing Astral Drifter, just so I can get like healing word.
You'll get the heals.
So here's the thing. I cannot pick locks today. But if you let me take about the 4-hour rest, I can pick locks tomorrow.
True. because of that feature, the trans feature.
I can blow up the door.
She can blow up the door.
Because the idea was also
Did any of you
being
actually
sort of
check
like
to see if the door was locked in the first place?
If
It does not matter if the door is locked. It matters how we open the fucking door.
Another idea I had was like being a scout, sort of like jumping forward, getting a view of things, coming back and reporting to everyone.
If I can find someone who has the key,
Yeah,
I
you
could
just
tell
need it.
them a beautiful story
'Cause-
of someone who didn't allow their role in society to define them, and who decided that what their calling was to open doors for others.
You know, I was joking before when I said you were playing me, but you really are just playing me as a human.
Yeah. Okay.
Matt, here's my other personal opinion,
Mhm.
and you can also throw this out. I
Hit
like
me.
having a ranger on the battlefield.
That was
Just-
another thing I was thinking. I do love that sneak attack though.
It's a sneak
is
attack
awesome.
damage. It's also the you can be a set of eyes for us if we're like down lower.
Mhm.
I full disclosure, I play a rogue fighter in my main campaign, and I am the ranger over there. I love it. I love having my players' backs.
Look,
Mhm.
hear me out, Matt.
Mhm.
Multi-class Gloomstalker, Ranger, Rogue. And just murder
I always
the
have issues
entire
with
field.
multi-classing. Personally, it just takes too long for stuff to come online, and I'm an impatient bastard. I know me.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm pissed off that I don't get my last level until next week. I don't get my
Yeah.
second attack.
I
My
tried
second attack- I've had
multi-classing
this character for
once.
3 months.
It never got a chance to come online.
I never go straight 20 levels in anything. Ever.
You said you never go straight anything? Okay.
Another choice.
I also never go
for
straight
a
anything.
ranged sort of harasser. If I build the skills and features right, who would like a robot pet and me being a battlesmith?
I'll take a pet. I always like pets.
I did that once, but you are right. I do want to give that Gloomstalker that I had earlier justice.
Yeah.
So more of a ranged combatant. Should I try and bring back that Owlin, which I had, so I've got a name and a feature. His name was Ariston Yopolo, the Night Owl. Actually, Guild, that is a question. Are you okay with Owlins in this campaign? Because I know early on flying can sometimes be interesting.
I have plans. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I have a favored monster type. And I'm not telling anyone. You'll figure it out. You will all figure it out. And at one point, you're all going to look at me and go, "You child of a bitch." And I will respond, "Yes, she is a bitch. But I don't declare myself as her child anymore."
My dear the Guild, I will never, ever refer to you in such a negative way.
I'll refer to
I am
myself
a
in
child
such
of a
way.
bitch. She is a bitch. I will openly call this.
I'm technically a bastard, so.
Also,
I know
that's
you're
a
not actually
very
going to see this. Real quick, I did this to this camera real quick. I know you're not actually going to see this, but Deb, you are a bitch.
Deb, if you are watching the stream, you are a bitch. And we don't like you.
A bitch.
One thing I will be doing is if it's okay with you, Guild, I like to use a lot of the optional Ranger replacement features. If that's okay with you, as opposed
Oh, you
to
mean the I don't choose one favorite enemy. It's that particular motherfucker right there that I hit.
Yeah,
screw
I'm
being able to
going
have a
back and
favorite
forth on that
terrain.
favored foe. If we want to spend more time, and I know I'll be facing up against certain types of enemies, I might stick with the favorite enemy. But I'm definitely
You
swapping
will
out the
figure out
natural
the favorite
explorer.
enemy. You'll figure out my favorite enemy,
And
you're going to hate me for it.
Yeah, I
Favorite
might-
enemy,
As a
dwarves.
kind reminder, I don't want to kill you.
Yes.
I don't
Monster
believe
number
you.
1 wants to kill you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you all. I want these things dead. They also want you dead.
That's fair.
It seems weird, but I know that talking to two very long-standing DMs, you understand this feeling. It's they want to win. and I'm rooting for you, but I'm still going to play them in a smart way.
2? You insult me.
Several. Go with several. Matt,
I think
Several.
we're,
That works.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna
we're
do?
settling on that Gloomstalker Ranger. I'll use the optional features. The decision now is, do I play some sort of badass night owl, or do I go for a goblin who's just a little shit?
I like the little shit sound.
Yeah, I lose the flying, but I can hide in it. I get the. I don't play that many small creatures either, so it'd be kind of fun, the bonus action to hide, because I'm definitely leaning into the stealth and sleight of hand stuff.
I vote the little shit because I typically play characters that are shit stirrers.
Mhm.
So that'd be fun to RP.
So Silver can stir you.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it
Hey.
would be great. A Gloomstalker Goblin Ranger.
As a note for visuals,
Mhm.
I steal my visuals for goblins, not from the racist assholes. Sorry, Wizards of the Coast. I steal them from Paizo, who don't use those extremely
Yes.
horrific, anti-Semitic, motherfucking. Sorry, I went
The little the shit-eating grin type goblins.
Yeah, with the more scrunchy face, the itty bitty nose, the bigger ears.
Yeah.
The goblins that are all
They-
They're
basically
adorable.
Stewie from Family Guy? Sure, go for it.
Mhm. The goblin art in
It's better than the
Mordenkainen's was a
anti-Semitic
little
looks
bit better.
of my
Under
opinion.
any circumstances, I 100% agree with you. The
Mhm.
Stewie from Family Guy goblin is far better than the anti-Semitic bullshit
Oh yeah.
that
Yes.
Watson
Whatever
has
you
put
say.
out there.
Okay. So now how to
Glad we're all on board with that.
Also, goblins do have. When it comes to ancestries, there is no true set in stone. There's some places that you'll see more of certain ancestries.
Mhm.
You will definitely see a lot more Drow, Sirfneblin, and Dwagar in the Astral Sea. But that's just because if you stay there long enough, any elf of any ancestry that lives there long enough will become a Drow. Any dwarf that lives long enough will become a Dwagar. Any gnome that lives long enough will become a Sirfneblin. The Astral Sea changes you.
Oh, so
So-
do people misinterpret my character for being a lot older than she actually is since she was born Drow?
No, not necessarily, because there's also
okay.
children that are born then.
Okay.
You could be generational. This, you could have had. It could be that your family has lived there their entire existence. You have your entire family tree. Your family has multiple flags because we just ran out of fucking space. At your home, there is at least one ship's wheel for that was once the old ship that brought your family here. That is basically your family tree, because they would carve the names of those family members into the tree, so into the steering wheel of their ship.
That's badass. I love it.
One of
That's so
the
cool.
odd anthropological things, sociological, anthropological, it really depends on your point of view. One of the weird sociological things that I like to do, just me as a human being, is how people pronounce the word Duergar.
Duergar.
Who pronounces it, how they pronounce it, everything like that is just fascinating to me. Absolutely apropos of nothing.
You have a Durgar, someone who says Durgar, I say Dwagar.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing.
What-
Nothing's wrong. I mean, it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy name. So, as long as people know what you're talking about, it still counts. It's still language. That's the way linguistics work.
God.
As long as people know what you're talking about, it doesn't matter how it's pronounced.
And even
always
in
just
worlds,
good.
So, and oh, it's just even in world, it would be pronounced slightly differently depending on where you learn to speak from, because accents change
Yeah.
or the pronunciations change. So even in world, they wouldn't pronounce it all the same. Sorry.
Not only that, but like different languages.
Yeah.
Because
So
when we're talking, I was gonna
from
say
a
like when we're
metagame
talking
perspective,
about
I'm gonna go. From a metagame perspective, I'm just owning it at this point. Oh, we lost Kitty.
we lost Katy.
Uh-oh.
It's going to look weird for a minute. From a sociological perspective, it's interesting to me to see how people talk about that particular race. From an anthropological perspective, in character, it's interesting to hear how people talk about that race. Since we lost Kitty, should we take this opportunity to take like a 10-minute break?
Yeah, sure. Seeing as this is much later. Also, we did get a lot slower of a start. I'm hoping that starting in session 1, we'll be able to get like a proper like kick in and blah 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 blah. So 10-minute bio.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
See you all in like 10 minutes.
Sounds
Fine.
good. If I'm a little late.
So, like, we're live now. I'm letting you
All
know,
right.
just so that we
Welcome
don't say
back to
anything
the absolute
untoward.
chaos.
The kind of character I want to be is Wit. Just an
Yes.
absolute shit.
Did you say
stain.
wit?
Wit
Yeah.
from Stormlight Archive.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
He is a
you
menace,
made that
and I love
This
him.
guy's this guy's definitely gonna be a different kind of little shit, but I have solved my other issues because I found the background I want to use for him. So I'm sticking with the goblin.
Okay.
Ranger to go into a Gloomstalker, because even though Rangers are mostly like nature magic, I'm gonna flavor it with its Feywild magic, because with a lot of the rewrites, they're connecting goblins to more Feywild. Oh, you don't have a Feywild in yours?
I have not written anything about my Feywild.
That's fine.
Like
It
nothing.
could still be in the material plane, just like energies from it. And then
Yes,
we
like there
can
is the
come up with
Great
shit.
Forest that
Yeah.
Or
Where
we
it
could
could
just,
come
or
from.
we could just make it up on the spot for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
yeah, like
That's the
I'll-
joy of playing a campaign setting that isn't fully fleshed out, is that you can rely
Yeah.
somewhat on your players to be like, this is
that's
a
I
thing in
wanted to
your
like
Feywild.
bring up that open caveat initially of like the only thing I have of my Feywild is technically one of my gods is semi-connected to it,
Mm.
but like,
Yeah, that's fine. But that's kind of like so I love doing this ranger thing with a twist where originally they are, sort of nature magic-y, but I like leaning into this Gloomstalk of he's more just Batman. But in a different way in this case too, where it can still have some of that weird nature magics of maybe the underfey or like a darker side of it, leaning into that Gloomstalker, because I'm going with a spy background, the criminal / spy. I'm doing the spy because it gives me 2 good skill proficiencies I can use, and it gives me those thieves tools proficiencies.
Ooh, there you go.
so
Very cool. Very cool.
may I pitch a connection point?
Pitch away, I'm ready to catch.
So you're native to Mandan. In fact, you are
Oh yeah.
referred to as your day job is working on the docks. And you actually know or have met, at least you believe you've met, the current queen, the rat queen. Because dock rats, just things happen. And in the past, the dock rats actually worked for the barons that made Mandan the city that it was before the war. Actually, before the war that involved Baal Azul. Baal Azul, unfortunately, did a lot to the fucking land, as did the 12 holds. But as Mandan came back up from almost nothing, the dock rats came back, and the spies, the network grew again. The dock rats feed information to something. What it is exactly that your like top goal is, you're not 100% sure. You're still, one of the rats in the lower range, but you know for a fact that it gets you money, keeps you mostly out of trouble. And by out of trouble, I mean you haven't gotten caught yet. And you have a legitimate day job. No wonder you know so many people, so many things, so many places, and another reason why you'd be in Mandan.
Yeah. I like the start of it, and I like a lot of pieces of that.
Yeah,
so I think I want to keep a lot of that. Maybe he's not a day worker. I like the idea of a spy in this case. If he's a native to Mandan, I always end up playing good characters. It's just me. He's an undercover cop. Maybe.
So you are actually part of the guard that made your way into
either that, or his spying is he was sent to Mandan and he's a Mandan native, or he's connected with some other primeval group. Because I want to lean into the ranger. He likes moving around. He doesn't stay in, just on the docks. he moves around the city a lot.
Oh, the rats end up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're gonna pull a little bit from the Batman idea. He has a day job, a day persona. Obviously not rich or anything, but in the night, he slips on his bow and his leather armor and dashes out into the dark.
And your connection with the docks, it is
Would still be
more
connected to
likely.
it. Mhm.
Yeah, more like even if it was a minor connection, would be more likely that your character will have encountered mine at some point.
oh, you will
and I
have
was
encounter because, as a small fun note, this campaign is starting, which I'll actually be dropping the revised version of my calendar probably sometime tomorrow.
Mhm.
But it is on the eve of the Sun's Song Festival,
Okay.
which is
Um,
for
Oh my
other
goodness.
people's terminology range, New
Little
Year's Eve.
top.
Like that is
Okay.
the start of the campaign is literally like a day before, and then the official start. Like we'll have the prologue of everyone's whereabouts and whatnots during the openings and all of that, and then the actual Sun's Song Festival. And
Mhm.
the story will be properly rising
Mhm.
basically New Year's Day. As a fun little note, the reason it's called the Sun's Song Festival is the sun tracks east southeast to west southwest, kind of like it does here on Earth every day, except for one. On the day of the Sun Song Festival, the sun rises in the south, like compass south, and sets compass north. Because to reach it, replaced the sun during the Great War, because the sun was blotted out and removed. It is common known factor that the sun itself is literally a fireball spell that is just held in place by the god. And one day every year, because who's going to stop them? They just decide, you know what? The sun comes from there and goes to there. Why not?
Okay.
I like it.
So you are on the eve of the new year. The way that I track the calendar is per month. And by month, I mean moon. The new moon is the beginning, the end / beginning of the month. And yeah, it tracks that way. Months are perfectly even throughout. It is 6-day weeks. Again, when I update properly the calendar, you will all see it, and the mild chaos of like, how did you come up with all of this? Because I'm going to say a statement that is common in my setting, but like it just sounds a little weird on occasion. The fact that the day of the Sun Song Festival is always on uh
A Sunday.
Laquette Mason Nudros. Laquette is the day of the week. The days of the week are Laquette, Exvo, Amru, Olap, Sotox, and Lidu. The weeks are Meson, Halon, Kayon, Vaxon, and Pilon. And the months are Nudros, Rendros, Sindros, Vasri, Fimri, Kellery, Valpek, Hespek, Upek, Gimko, Uko, and Temko.
Listen here, you better have that all written down for me.
Oh, I do. I have that. It is going to be all of you can see it Excel spreadsheet. You can put your character's birthday. If you don't remember what your birthday is, talking to one particular person, you can just choose a day that you remember for, like, this is a very important day to me that I celebrate every year. And if you don't want one of those days, you don't have to, because fucking Eladrin. But like,
He lived so long, it's like, there's another birthday? All right.
I specifically chose a character that I don't have to memorize this shit, so I'm not writing any of this down.
all you know is it is every 3 moons the seasons change. Which also, it just, in my little head, like, it all makes sense. The way that you would actually say a specific date is the day, the week, the moon. There are 6 days in a week, 4 weeks in a moon, 12 moons in a year.
The thing I
So
feel like you're
question,
going to
could
be
this-
hearing a lot from me is, what? That's the date? All right.
Oh, no wonder it's getting warmer.
That explains
Somebody
why
needs
I'm
to take
very
keen
sweaty.
mind.
Katie, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
So I
cut you off.
have no worries. I do have a question about, since this is kind of New Year's and it's kind of when the sun is moving south to north just because, does that impact, since I'm playing a wild magic sorcerer, does that impact wild magic? Because I'm thinking, if you're okay with it, I can see that being a bit of a sacred day for those that have wild magic, because
So-
of that aspect of, we're doing a new thing because we want to.
2 things. One, a little bit yes, because of the wild magicness.
Mhm.
And 2, the reason that it is, like, leaning in that range, as I have said before, your player buy-in is giving a shit about the old gods.
Yeah.
If you will permit me a suggestion, one of the reasons why it is an extra sacred day is this is one of the few holidays that is connected to Dorichet, who is the High Archmage of the Grand Tower of the Lotus. Like, this is,
I like it.
yeah, like, Castor Doriched remade the sun. They stole some of the potential of magic forever. In D&D terms, there used to be canonically 12th level spells. We now only have to level 9. All of those extra spell levels are gone because you have a sun again. And it's not going anywhere. Like, not only did they cast Fireball, they cast Permanence. And then, just because
like
they
it.
can, they went, boop, boop.
So hypothetically,
One day.
I could eat the sun and get 12th level spells again.
Getting 12th level spells is beyond what the current scope of the setting has.
Beyond the
Again, that
current
magic is
scope of the
forever gone.
mechanics.
Yeah. It's beyond the mechanics, but it's also, like, forever gone, because that spell, that magic is been burnt up in one way or another permanently.
Oh, my kitty.
Is it bad when you went boop boop? I was thinking they were playing tetherball with the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
It's more like
thinking either tennis.
That or pong.
Okay.
Because that, I really like that for adding that kind of dimension to wild magic. Because with wild magic, I don't know what your wild magic chart is, but I know with wild magic, I don't know if anyone else has been playing Baldur's Gate, but one of the lines in there when I was playing a sorcerer that I really enjoyed was, every spell that I cast could be my last, and it was like an intimidation thing of, do you think you're going to scare me because I'm a magic user? So that's kind
That's
of why I like
amazing.
the idea of really leaning into the wild magic and leaning into like the divine aspect to it as well.
Set my phone down in a very obvious place. There it is. Give me 1 second.
So while they look for their phone, has anybody been watching Dimension 20's Mentopolis?
I have
Not yet.
I
I want
to.
reactivated my subscription because
So
I wanted
Hank
to see
Green,
Hank
I'm not
Green
going to
at a
spoil
table.
anything here, but Hank Green is in the show, and
That's why I want to.
his character is very like large and intimidating, and every time he does something, he just spews a random fact, and because it's Hank Green, they're all true. So at
I've
one
seen
point,
those. I've seen one of his
Yeah.
random facts. Like, oh my god, that's all terrifying.
Yeah.
At one
Here's the
point,
deal.
he's like, "Did you know that half the bones in your body are in your hands and feet?" So when
He
I
made
say that I'm going to
Brennan
break
Lee
half the
Mulligan
bones in your
panic.
body, I need you to understand what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
And also the fact that breaking every bone in your body is such a hard task.
It is.
Because
It
that
is.
also involves the little tiny ones in your ears too.
Yeah. He made, I'm not kidding. He made Brennan Lee Mulligan panic and
Wince.
drop character. Yes.
Yep, and that is an accomplishment. Brennan is the
Yes.
consummate professional. The fact that Brennan went,
He
"Oh!"
scared Brennan.
But of anyone, it would be Hank Green that would scare Brennan. Like,
It's
let's
true.
be real here.
The fact that he did it not really intimidatingly, but in that really smart Hank Green way of
He
like,
did.
Uh-huh.
Which
Have
I
you
don't
guys
know if
seen that
anybody
they
has
did?
seen his most recent TikTok. He is officially in remission.
Yes,
Yay!
I saw that.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
did see that. I saw that
actually
last
met the
night, like
brothers
right before going to
once.
bed. I'm like, good things to fall asleep on.
Yep. I actually met the brothers once.
Cool.
I
How
used to
was it?
work at Josephette Bookstore, and during the Turtles All the Way Down tour, I got to drive up to Cincinnati and work the event. So I got
Cool.
to meet them, and I've got some signed books and stuff from both of them.
Were they
Oh,
as
that's
cool as they
amazing.
seem to be?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Is it bad?
They
I
were
have
so
no
chill.
idea what the hell any of y'all are talking about.
No, it's fine.
I'm in your
It's
boat.
okay, but
Hank
at some
Green
We'll
and
point,
send
his
you
brother-
some TikToks later.
Hank Green and his
Listen,
brother are.
Listen, Kitty, I accept you, but yeah, that's bad. We
we'll,
need to
we'll
get you
have
It's
to
caught
not
up.
back
bad.
you with
It's
the
not
Hank
bad.
Green.
It
I
is.
do have a couple
Let's see.
more
I'm
small
on the
detail.
road. I'm on the road between 10 to 12 hours a day minimum. I have to
Mhm.
allot my time wisely. I don't have a lot what you call free time.
I'm just kidding, Kitty.
Fair.
I hope you know
Yeah.
that. That was just me being
I'm
sarcastic.
I'm an
I do
equal
have-
opportunity repeat offender. I offend everyone just the same. I will do it again, and no, I'm not sorry.
Excellent.
As long as the offensive range is not like bigger stuff. Okay, one thing I need to do bookkeeping wise.
I do
Before
have-
I get too far out,
I do have a couple more final questions about some build stuff with mine for what you're okay with allowing and some opinions from the table.
before you get into that, I do want to try and
Okay.
get this in while my brain is still like running through this real quick.
Go.
Are we okay if we go over the farthest ranges of our chart? Because we
Yeah.
have
Not
a
yet.
Context.
we have
Which
the
chart?
consent chart,
Oh,
which is the way it is written out is lines, which is it doesn't happen. We
Yes.
completely omit this from the campaign. Veils, which is you can get right up to where it is and then fade around or move around it. Not my character. And then open range. Are we okay if I do that real quick? And are we okay if we have that on camera?
yes.
Yeah.
That's
I-
fine.
Let's do it.
Okay. So all of you sent it. I'm not going to say who sent what. I am going to just say that these are the lines. I know someone sent me. There's yours.
I totally forgot to send it to you, by the way. So if you want, I can.
Send me the pictures or whatever lines you have.
Okay.
Like whatever you marked. Tell me what you marked as. If you can't send me a screenshot. Does that work?
Yes. Kind of, because I was traveling all week, so I was not able to get that done. I apologize.
It's all right. I will go over what we have so far for some of them.
Okay.
And then if you have any lines afterwards that I have missed.
Let's do it that way. Let me load it, and then let's do it that way, because I'm pretty laid back. I only had like a couple lines, if I remember.
No problem. So one of the things that we have is having a line on. So the way the structures worked out is there's horror, fears and trauma, hate speech, health and body, pregnancy, threats to, harm or violence to, natural disasters, romance, sexual content, and other. I will go through the lines. It's probably going to be more than one set when I go through it, but I am not going to out anyone on what their lines, whose lines are what. Just as a like, here are what the lines are. I don't see anything in this section for this person. So I am going to.
Hey, Guild, could you resend it to me? Because I cannot find it from you anywhere, and I don't know why.
Tell you what, I
Yeah.
will resend it while Guild does their thing.
Okay, sounds
That
good.
works.
Sorry,
One
Guild.
of the best things about having it sent to multiple people is that is everywhere at this point.
Wait, never mind, Adam. I found it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Bear.
Gotcha.
All right. So I have to try and zoom in on some of these because reading.
Because tiny.
Words
Yes.
are hard.
I'm trying to make sure I have everyone's up at the same time. So I have.
Just double checking something. This is going to be every other Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Correct. I
Okay.
can't do more than that because my life is chaos.
Not a problem. I'm just checking because I'm supposed to be down in LA with a friend on Tuesday, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to for. So I knew I'm going to be good.
Oh right. Fucking. I know where yours is. So one. Yeah, I just need one last one, and we'll be.
I'm filling it out right now.
Yeah. Because one person legitimately said, "I don't have anything on here." So current lines, it's probably gonna have to go through them over and over again. So for horror, we have apocalypse, blood, body horror, demons, gore, injure to certain body parts, which the injury to certain body parts is no eye stuff, which I fully understand. Mind control, we have not on a specific player, which I have that marked. Am I missing? Body horror and gore is a line for. Is a line that we have in there. Actually, Adam, can you do one thing for me?
Yeah, hit me.
As I go through these, could you open up one of the charts and fill these out as I'm calling them? And then we'll have this as the master chart.
How about I just make notes of what there is and I can go back into it later and do it?
All right. Or if you make those notes and send them to me, I can also do it myself.
Yep, that works. Okay, so we had run those by me again. It was no eye stuff.
No eye stuff. No body horror.
Okay.
No gore.
Okay.
Mind control is a particular PC. I will mark down that PC
Yep,
in
no
the
problem.
notes later. Serial killers, vampires, and zombies were not marked by anyone that I have seen. There is a veil on. Nope, those are not. Don't have to worry about those. Those are lined. So because someone else has a line, we don't have to worry about veils on that.
Cool.
For fear and trauma.
The one that you sent me only has line or veil or not my PC, just so you know.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, good. Okay.
And that is perfectly fine. That is the way it's supposed to be. Line, veil, or not my PC.
I just sent you mine.
Yep. So that's a veil for all of the horror has at minimum a veil. So apocalypse, blood, demons, serial killer, vampires, and zombies are.
So all horror is a veil, basically.
Is it supposed to be a veil on all of that? Am I saying that right? Or did it glitch? Just wanted to double check that statement.
Say it one more time.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. For whatever reason, it made a mark instead of a box.
Yeah. It's supposed to mark either mark it or not have it marked. Just want to double check that all those marks are correct.
Yes, all those are marked correctly. For whatever reason, when it was marked, it turned into like a squiggle. I don't know what happened. So it
That's
glitched.
perfectly fine. I'm just wanting to make sure that the marks themselves are proper.
Yep.
So
No,
that
I
way
appreciate
I'm
that.
reading them appropriately, so that way we have the lines where we need to have the lines.
Yeah, they're all veils.
Okay, that is perfectly fine. I can definitely have. This doesn't really mess with the. Did you do page 2? Or was there nothing on page 2 that you cared about?
I didn't see it. I'll do it right now. Okay.
I feel your pain.
I'm just apparently just dumb.
No, it's not the most intuitive on some areas, which happens.
I'll just read them and tell you all veils. That's fine. I'm being genuine. I read them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. It's just the moment of like, I haven't heard anyone that has that range, but like, okay. So yeah, basically the things that don't have veils that are a like hard line are body horror, gore, spiders, self-harm. I'm kind of bouncing around areas. Don't worry about it.
I'm just marking down what you're specifically saying. So
race or ancestry, sexuality, weight or size, torture, transphobia. Going through other stuff, seeing if there's other lines that I have. Gaslighting, involuntary commitment, Um, Abortion, stillbirth, children. I think I. Insanity. Sexual violence. And I think I have tagged everything appropriately. Am I missing anything from anyone?
Domestic violence.
Okay, so I missed that one.
And
Got it.
just to clarify, I hope you'll send. I hope we'll get a copy of all of these things.
I will be making a
So
master.
that we can learn to.
Yeah, I'll be
sort of
making a
abide
master
by
list.
them. I just wanted to clarify. You said children. You didn't mean like children are a hard line. Like we can't. No
No,
one can
Harm
mention
2
children,
specifically.
right? Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Harm
I just
2
wanted to double
specifically.
check. Like no one can mention children.
No, I'm reasonably certain that was mine, and it's just I can't do harm to kids.
Yeah. No. I just wanted to
Oh.
make sure we can mention children.
Yeah. Also, did is the hard line for animal harm? That one's on there.
I
well.
missed that one. Thank you
Okay.
for popping that back in.
Yeah, that's a hard
This
line.
is one of the reasons why we bring this up. I've been trying to be as like neutral, like not calling anyone out on anyone's particular line ranges. I am perfectly open to fine in saying the fact that the reason it's spiders is not a horror thing is because I have horrific arachnophobia. One of the reasons why I'm a little worried about playing Baldur's Gate is
Giant spiders is a fucking trope in D&D.
This is not on there. This is not a joke. You feel free to laugh at me. I have a horrible fear of butterflies.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, horrible.
Perfect.
So I do want to add that. Like, I'll get really uncomfortable really quick. I don't know why they fly like they're broken. They don't make sense to me. Like, you can't trust them.
This is not judgment.
And you don't want to see the front of my
Please
truck.
judge. It's totally fine. Like, I get it, but like,
Brie, I have an irrational fear of horses.
okay, that's valid.
I got thalassophobia.
I don't know what that is.
What?
That's fear of the sea.
Fear of deep ocean.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm in a shallow pool of water, I'm fine. If I look over the cliff and there is nothing but the water going into blackness, fuck that, I'm out. A pipe going into the darkness is terrifying to me.
Also, the guild, I did put some not for my PCs. I hope you saw those.
Rechecking those ones.
It's under health and body.
Health and body. Mental illness, PTSD,
Suicide and vehicle crash.
which vehicle crash can be things like, carts and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay, yeah, then that's fine. That's a veil.
yeah,
I was thinking like car wrecks. I'm like, nah, that'd be really hard.
Also, someone has a Mark IV, not PC, of bullying, which is perfectly fine. I try not to have bullying towards or between characters whenever possible. I can make you hate the villains for other reasons. And I'll say this on camera: if ever there is like between any kind of character romance, as long as everyone consents on the front end and we follow the rulings in the middle, and no matter what, if a character decides to go into the next room, that character is done for the night. By night, I mean the in-game night. not
Okay.
not like the
Alright.
you're done for the rest of the session. No, like
No proverbial table flip. Got it.
like your character
Sylvane,
is.
do I need to give you one of my hand fans to use?
I have a few. I just didn't bring them.
But yeah, like
They're on my desk.
I'll just fan
Yeah,
out
like if
all
your
of my
character goes up
lock
into
picks.
yeah, if your character goes up into a room with someone for the night, then that's you. That is that character's end of night. They have faded into black. The camera has panned away. We have cut to credits. We've heard the whatever theme song this particular sitcom that we're watching on TV is using. You know what's happened. We're adults. We can be adults, but we are being also, not taken down by Twitch.
Yeah.
And
Useful.
also respecting each other. Like, for some people, it's just weird. I am Arrow Ace, and I can fake it, like the fake romance. Seriously, I've made people blush off of my singing along with the name of that fucking song. Flatline.
Well, I'm
You can
assuming
find
we're
it
going
on
to
TikTok.
we're going to lean into X carding out. Like if something is making you uncomfortable for any reason whatsoever, like throw up an X, whatever, walk away. Like this is a safe space. That's and
Yeah.
I know
And
I know
if-
Guild is with me on this one, but this is the safe space. Period.
And if something is starting to feel a little weird and you want to like pause range, you can literally just pause.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
just
Oh, okay.
either
Just throw our
call
hands
out
up.
loudly or like legitimately 2 arms up,
Okay.
like hit pause button.
Yep.
It's
No,
either
thank you for
pause
that.
or no.
So yeah, pause.
even
Like
if
hold
you're-
on, I need a second.
I do
X
that.
card. Like,
There's a
I'm
good
done.
chance I'm going to get into a wreck.
So also calling out either like pause or X, or even like if it's a X and you can't really like fully verbal on it, literally just yelling out as a like interruption moment will let us like legitimately bring it to a halt for a second, pull us out of the moment, figure it out, and move on. So that way everyone is happy, healthy, safe, and acceptable.
My policy when we are streaming, if anybody X cards out, is to go immediately to a "we'll be back" screen. So for whatever reason, and here's the thing, I'm not always going to be looking directly at the screen or anything like that. So if somebody calls out, "Hey, can we go to a break?" I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to ask about it. I will go immediately to a "we'll be back" screen. We'll sort our shit out, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. No, I'm glad you brought that up because I am kind of a shit stirrer, so please feel free to DM me at like outside. I'm pretty good about navigating people's boundaries, but like please don't like be afraid to reach out to me and be like, "Hey, Brie, too much shit stirring," or "Hey, just let me know." Because I'm pretty comfortable with that.
These lines of veils are also very important to me, not because I have them, but because I can tend to be very descriptive in combat. And it's important for me to have these so I don't accidentally trigger you when I shoot an arrow at a bad guy and describe it in excruciating detail.
Yeah, I was worried about that. Frankly, like, it was, as we were hearing some of the lines and veils, I was like, I'm kind of glad I didn't play my necromancer. Because I can be a little
That would have been
morbid, honestly.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to throw this out there. Me as a person, me as this character, I will flirt with anybody for any reason. It is not meant to disturb or to frighten anybody. But if you do not wish to be flirted with for any reason, you need to tell me.
Everyone should flirt with me. That's the golden rule.
Yeah. It's interesting for me. It's like I'm a big flirt and always looking for a relationship out of game, like IRL. But whenever I'm in a game, none of my characters are interested. I don't know why. I think it would be interesting to explore those stories. I just never get around to it.
Most of my characters are in right now of like romance with another PC, so I'm more than comfortable. And I make non-romanceable like characters, and they always end up getting romance. So that's just how it goes, though.
And again, like
Yep.
if that happens within a character range, not only will it be talked about like on screen on that, like I would want to make sure that in breaks, I'm saying this like we're being recorded on this, like I want to make sure like in like break ranges and stuff like that, like you're like those things are happening. If ever two player characters get into a position where their romance would go into something that would go into a fade to black, I do require at minimum on Discord in our group chat area, one person asks consent, the other person then confirms consent. If both parties have not done this in the open chat area, that is a red. Like that is potential grounds for removing you from your chair. And it could be a legitimately like, okay, real quick before I make my next statement in character, I need to. Could you real quick check that? And
so check your chat. Like, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, like legitimately, I just let me type this quickly out, and it could just be FTB question mark, and the other person like why yes or N no, like
FTB, DTF.
Can we
whatever,
give code names for it, like code 2319 or code Sapphire?
Was that a Monsters Inc. reference?
And what if it was?
That's a deep cut, my man.
I thought it just a code Cupid would be easy. It's like code Cupid, real quick.
Something else that you guys should know about me. I'm big on consent, so please don't be offended if like before I even like touch your character's shoulder, the first question you're going to be getting is it okay if I touch your shoulder? And I know that sounds mediocre, but I think we need to even start at the basis of just even asking for a hug or touch on the hand. So if you're all cool with that, please let me be cool with that.
That's me in real life, so yeah, I'm 100%
same, and it's a habit.
And you might get an answer from me. I'm still, as I'm building this character and understanding it, I may be okay with it as a player because I want to explore that interaction with the character. Like, not that the character is a no on it, but that they may be reticent for whatever reason. But again, we'll discuss that in character build, and that may not even be their thing. May not even come up.
We'll yeah. But that's definitely one thing with me is that I come from a very particular roleplay culture, which by this year of the internet is actually kind of a niche thing. But the kind of subculture I come from is essentially, if it happens in character, you resolve it in character. So that doesn't necessarily everyone's like comfort level, and I want to sort of operate on everyone's comfort level, but I just want to like express that to you all that like that's where I'm coming from. So like usually my answer is going to be yes. Me as a player, I say yeah, let's do it, RP it with me. That doesn't necessarily mean my character will like it, but like my character will respond in character and like tell you to fuck off or like, you know, slap you in the face or, you know, whatever. Like I just wanted to like clarify that, like just because I say yes doesn't mean my character says yes. Like my character is gonna deal with things how they deal with things.
I like the being able to differentiate between players okay with it and then characters okay with it, because that allows for us to, as players, to feel comfortable exploring some of the tensions among the group without thinking that it is among the players, it's only among the characters, but having that differentiation I think is a really good thing.
Agreed.
Now there is a question I was going to throw out there. Because of my background of with me being the last person of City Tribe, I haven't figured out exactly yet. with the incorporation of the village pretty much getting wiped out, that does include children, just obviously. Is that going to hurt anyone if it's just background? When I generalize everything, not just targeting like one thing, but it's just like as a city or village as whole.
Speaking for me, and I don't know if anybody else selected like harm to children or not, but speaking specifically for me, like if it's part of your background, that's not an issue. It's just when faced with an active like a child is in danger situation, like, and again, threats to kids are okay, but as far as I'm concerned, kids in art fantasy and RPGs are immortal. And if you harm them, I'm leaving the table.
Yeah, it's the
But
Prismere rule set.
exactly. If the background is bad shit happen, it's fine. Like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to do respect for everything, just because
No,
Yep.
absolutely, absolutely, and like I very much, again, from my perspective, because I put that down for sure. I have kids. I'm a dad. Like I have two kids. They're amazing. If anything happened to them, I would first burn down the world to find the person that did it to them, and then probably do something terrible to myself. This is the reason I don't want harm to kids. Like I feel that strongly about it. But again, if it's part of a tragic backstory, like I get it, I understand. Like I'm a professional writer. This is what I do. Like I get a tragic backstory, but like I could never witness or narrate harm to a child on screen, so to speak. I just don't want harm to children on screen.
so nothing like active, but being part of a character's history is
Correct. That is perfectly fine. You're not going to hear any
okay.
argument from me.
100%.
Just for some context, so I don't seem like a monster because I have range. I work with kids and their trauma survivors, so that's gotten my bandwidth pretty wide. So I've heard it all with things. So don't think that it's because I'm okay with harm to kids or harm to animals. I'm not. But if it comes down to like someone's backstory, I'm totally okay with it. And I also sort of take these things as they come to the table. If that makes sense. Adam, I'm right there with you. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case everyone's like, why is your range so huge? It's because my profession has made my bandwidth very, very wide. So just throwing that out there.
That's
See,
fair.
for
Bree,
me,
you
I'm
and I
kind
should
of on
talk
the
off
opposite.
camera.
What?
I said we should talk off camera.
Yeah, I hope in a good way.
Yeah. No, and
Okay, because you said that
absolutely
so
a positive way.
ominously,
Sorry.
like,
Well,
He
the
just
person
has
with
one of those
anxiety, I just
ominous
realized how that
voices.
sounded.
yeah.
There, tell everything it's okay.
It's like
It's
you're waiting for
fine.
a significant
Bree,
other
you and I
saying,
should
"We
talk
need to
off
talk."
camera. You're not in trouble.
Okay, thank you. You
It's
just said it so ominously, like,
It's like
It's
the
like
we
that
facial
need to
scene in
expression you
talk.
had.
The
Just
Last of
say,
Us.
we should
Everything
talk
is
off camera.
fine.
Yes, that's exactly. I was like, oh no, I'm
You
kicked
had that
out
look on your face,
already.
like
No.
going
You
down.
and I should talk professionally off camera about about things that you're not in trouble for. I wanna talk shop a little bit, and I don't want to do it on screen.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I would love that.
All right, I think that we are pretty set on our session 0. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, I got a couple more mechanical questions and some tiny little details, but we can figure those offline for me as
And honestly,
I
after we
narrowed
do this
down
call, if
his
you want
backstory.
to kick me over Discord, I can
Yeah.
handle that for a bit.
It is
But-
11:30 right now. I'm going to bed.
So
Okay,
let's real quick. Let's just go around. Let's do our socials real fast, and then let's call it in.
perfect.
All right, let's
Awesome.
start with we're gonna go around this way according to my particular camera range. So when I call out the names by random, it makes sense.
I need to go last, so that's all I ask.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. Which means Katie, you're up first.
Okay, so my socials, I am on TikTok and YouTube at Ghost Vellum. My YouTube is very tiny at the moment. I've got more stuff on my TikTok, and yeah, just very gamer nerd content and book content. So that's me.
All right, Sylvane, do you have any ranges that you want to plug? As we can't hear you.
Doing something.
Sylvane, you are not muted, but we cannot hear you for whatever reason.
That's what I. Yeah, you unmuted yourself, but I will read yours here in a second as you're typing that up. Kitty, we'll get you next real quick.
For TikTok, I am _ Numalia, Numalia. I am mostly going to be doing kind of stuff from like a trucking point of view. I am also going to be doing scratchers across the U.S. because that is one of my habits. So kind of see what's around and finish the games out there. Eventually, when I do get my dash cam, I am going to be putting up the idiot drivers of the week. I think that'll take off. But until then, but just some like this, like nerd stuff too, because I do play Magic and whatnot too. So I might decide just to open some booster packs underneath the camera too and see if there's anything that cool that comes out. But I'm still figuring stuff out. This is just kind of more to help boost my self-confidence in my transitioning.
Love it.
Brilliant.
Bree, you are up.
Yeah, TikTok is that D&D chick. And also I think you can find it underneath my name. I also have an Instagram. It's bry.payne. Right now it's private, so you can still send me a follow and I'll accept it because I'm kind of working on it to get it ready for boosting the stream and boosting D&D content. So yeah, shoot me a follow request. Please follow me on that D&D chick. I post really random shit. So, and it's fun.
Matt, you are up.
Pretty much you can find me on TikTok at Shadow Slipper. But beyond that, I have accounts in other places, but those are mostly just lurking. I'm not really posting anywhere else right now. I have more of a slipping through the shadows kind of presence, but I might start posting to TikTok more and then see where it goes with a day job.
Right. Before I plug my stuff, Sylvane, do you have anything that you want to plug? Here. Real quick. Bear, do you mind if we plug that first range?
Yeah.
It
Do the
is
things.
your channel. Can you read what the first one is?
Nope, but you can.
Do you know Fet?
Yeah, you can do. That's fine. Go for it.
Okay, so you can find Sylvane Spectre on FetLife. And for people that are in the Denver area or going to be near the Denver area, traveling around, what have you, first Sunday of every month, Denver's Dangerous Theater doing a open mic limit breaker. I would love at some point, like on first Sunday, to see more faces there from like you all. If ever you get a chance to come to the Denver area for one of those, that would be just like a random awesome thing. I perform there quite consistently. Sylvane is our MC, and they have a lot of fun with it. That is every first Sunday, not this coming month because of holiday stuff. For my stuff, my little plugs, on TikTok, I am D&D Kitten Jade. I post fairly randomish things. I'm trying to post like history and common lore for this setting there. Currently, I have the like long run history. It's an almost 10-minute video, but it's good knowledge for the setting. Next one is going to be my next planned video, because it's unplanned videos that are just going to pop up. But my next planned video for the setting one is how people see the classes of the setting, like of D&D, like just how that blah blah blah. On YouTube, I am Black Barrel Tavern. I am not really publishing anything on there currently, but all of my old stuff from Roses in the Dark is going to be on there. If I'm allowed to get a copy of the VOD to drop there as well as where Adam drops his, I would be happy to do that. If not, that's perfectly fine. I occasionally stream on Twitch when I have the spell slots. Black Barrel Tavern. That is my plug stuff, and I now give you to the owner of this channel.
Hello, friends, and welcome. I am the Blind GM. I'm also the Blind Heathen. I am Adam. The Blind GM, the Blind Heathen are all over social media. I do not do the platform formerly known as Twitter because it's bullshit. But I will do every other platform out there under the Blind GM or the Blind Heathen. You probably found this on YouTube under the Blind GM. And I will happily share the VOD with the guild such that they can drop it where they need to. But yeah, so as I do not know when this is going to be coming out, I cannot plug upcoming stuff. What I will say is that every other Tuesday during the day, I run a pre-recorded game with a bunch of really cool TikToker people that I am running. It's got RPG Mom, it's got Natty New, it's got Stigicorn, it's got me, it's got some guest people coming up, which I'm really excited that they're on the stream. We've got a bunch of other like TikToker people who are going to be guesting on the show periodically. It's a lot of fun. It's super exciting. It is a cozy campaign. It is the very first cozy campaign I've ever run. I really suggest you go check it out. But that's coming up on my YouTube as well. Other than that, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate you all. We're going to let Matt go to bed now because it is late where he is. So I love you all. You all are amazing. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever the fuck it is where you are. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Be well and roll safe.